Have a great time at Comic-Con. Thank you all very much. I am so thrilled to be the new Big Love. Everyone have a great
Would be good if I was on camera, right? What's up, guys? It's Moody here from A Toy Kind of Mood, episode 235. The future of classified is here. Back to cat. It happened, fully funded. We'll talk about that. And I got Tony's Figs joining me a little later on. But we're doing something different today. We're going right with the GIJoe community. We got 3 different topics on the future of classified and 3 different squadrons. So bringing in different members of the community, prominent members. Some of them have a YouTube channel, a blog. They're in the Facebook groups. You've seen them in comments. So just wanted to give back to the community and have them get a voice here in A Toy Kind of Mood. So I thought it would be a good idea to get them in on the back half of the cat. So we've got the HasLabs teams and future tooling. That'll be a lot of fun. Sub teams, sub lines, tooling like future proofing, HasLabs, as well as Arctic news and stuff like that. So it'll be super sick. I'm going to bring in some new folks. And first topic we're going to talk about is the future of classified sub teams and sub lines. And so for that, let me bring in my first guest. You may have heard of General Geekery. It's my guy, JD. Let's see if his Wi-Fi works this time. What's up, man?
Hello. I moved location, so hopefully the Wi-Fi is a little better. So
great.
Yeah,
I think it's working.
Going?
Yeah,
nice to talk.
It's a touch. So the funny thing is, it's a touch fuzzier, but you're coming in clearer. So I think it might work out pretty well. So you recently had KJ on your show, huh?
All right.
Looks like AT&T or Spectrum is not working with you today.
And I'm not good.
What's up? Say it again. All right, let me bring in the other guest, and you'll have to get that figured out for a sec. All right, Woody, what's up? I think because you're in Rhode Island, your stuff's gonna work a little better.
Yeah, we got 5 towers in fucking 60 miles, so we're good here.
Good thing I brought you in after the first 2 minutes, so he won't get demonetized.
Yeah, I'll save it. No,
too late now. What's good, man? So tell those new to Woody 222 if they, you have a channel and everything.
Well, first it's Woody 222, but I'll take it. Whatever you want to call me is good.
There you go.
As long as you don't call me something bad.
There you go. Absolutely not. But you're a bad man. So talk about your channel real quick.
I got a YouTube channel, and I army build GIJoe Classifieds, and pretty much anything 1/12 that catches my fancy, I'll buy and just say, look at what I got, and that's all you see from it. I don't really do reviews or no shit like that. I'd have a sorry about the swear, but
no shit, fuck, now too late.
Yeah, they had a new article or some shit right on the internet that fucking said you could swear now. But anyway, I just do a live stream Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern with my man Same Time Toys, and that's how you can catch me on my channel and on his channel Same Time Toys.
Nice.
What I do.
6 p.m. Eastern, and what day was that again?
Saturdays.
Very cool.
Yeah.
6 p.m. So 3 p.m. Pacific time.
3
All right,
p.m.
JD,
Pacific.
Let's try this again, man. You got a show. And what's going on? You think this new location's gonna work for you or what?
Nah.
He's frozen in time. My man's frozen in time. You might have to go back where you were. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hey, this guy's backstage. David, you're not on till later, but I see you backstage. I don't know if there was a miscommunication, but I wanted to let you know that I didn't want you to just hang out for a while. But
I was just gonna watch.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Backstage ran, but hi, Dave. But we'll see you in a bit.
What the fuck?
All right. Now that he took off his glasses, maybe JD's Wi-Fi will work.
Yeah, I was messing with the signals or something, the metal in the frame.
All right, let's get into a topic that JD's not a stranger of. I know he loves 90s Joes. Seen him in other podcasts talking about this. And man, he just frozen. I don't know if it's gonna work out too well. All right. Well, look, this is your choice, Woody. So while he
Yeah.
works out his Wi-Fi, you picked the DEF. How, like, with the police, you know, the you have
Yeah.
to remind me, the EMS,
Drug-
not EMS.
Drug Elimination Force.
No, but I'm talking about the legacy police. What are they called? The emergency. You know what I'm talking about? The legacy policemen that are coming from classified.
Oh, isn't it like first responder or something? I don't know. I don't know the exact name of it.
Maybe someone in the chat will help us out. Speaking of which, we'll say hi to some folks.
You're talking about the cop, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
It's like EMS, but smash the like button. Yes, thank you so much. Figure 6-pack. Here, let me go down here so we don't hide our guests. Friday streams. What up, a Toy Kanamu crew? Yes, Tony will be joining us a little later. Snow CAT. Fuck the world. Yes, we did it. Big Lob. I didn't know what to do for an intro, so I just threw KJ in there. He is now a Big Lob. KJ for Big Lob. Cool. JD, are you familiar with the DEF? Oh, he's trying his Wi-Fi.
I guess not.
All right. So tell me why you picked this one. Why you picked you want?
Well, you said the topic you wanted was what teams left would you like to see? And being that they pretty much touched almost every team that I'm feeling from my generations. This was 92. I was into Turtles by then, but I still kind of knew what these were. I wasn't buying them, but I mean, it makes sense, you know, me coming where I'm from. It's like the DEA, basically, just as GI Joes. They got Mutt for sniffing. They got Cutter for the boats on the water, bringing the shit in. And then they got Bulletproof with the weapons, and they got Shockwave. He's the cop, so he can lead them all. So I just kind of figured that'd be a good, decent. Plus, they classify the crap out of them, so I mean that'd be dope. I don't think they look like they did.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I think these are great for classified. And like Cutter had the Red Sox hat, not as DEF, but you know.
I don't think we need Cutter because he's gonna come with the whale hopefully one day. But give me everybody else, yeah. The headhunter, the villain is dope in this. I don't know if you got a picture of that, but the villain is dope and his henchmen are dope. With the gangster suit on.
Yeah, was Bulletproof? He was the leader of this DEF.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, it says it right there. Yeah, leader.
Yeah, he was the leader, but Shockwave should have been the leader.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get into some of these comments real quick. Say what's up to some folks. I appreciate everyone hopping on a Friday. Wednesday, I ended up having a gig, and for some reason, Bobby couldn't access the slides. But I'm glad to do the show today. It's going to be a lot of fun, different topics. We're talking sublines, sub teams for future GI Joe. I believe this is one we're definitely going to get, and we'll get into tooling. But just looking at this guy already, we already got a lot of pieces already. Yeah, we'll talk about the headhunters. Footloose was apprehended by the DEF for the oregano on his helmet. That's funny. CIA runs more drugs than hidden.
Facts right there.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. All right, let's see if our guy JD's Wi-Fi is working. It looks like it is. I see movement, bro.
Hello. Sorry. I reset the whole thing.
Yes. It worked. All right, so talk to me about what you know about DEF. Yep.
I love the DEF. Firstly, Bulletproof is one of my 5 favorite Joes of all time. All of my 5 favorites are in no particular order, but Bulletproof is in there. He's a U.S. Marshal. I had him in 1993. I got a new one in college, and I really love that figure. The only reason I didn't buy the club version is because it annoyed me he didn't have a removable helmet. The DEF, I would be all for it. You know, I know people want Cutter because he's classic and they want the whale for classified, but I don't want a classic Cutter with his bell bottoms and his very large chin. I want a DEF update without the sleeves, and he looks like he's ready to brawl.
I like that. I like that. Do you agree with the sentiments, Woody?
Yeah. I would leave Cutter out of the line. I must be older than this dude, so that's fine with me because he belongs with the whale to me. But I definitely respect where he's coming from. I mean,
I'm okay.
DEF would be dope. I mean, the way they would classify the shit out of that today, I think Lenny would kill this, honestly.
I mean, honestly, I do think Cutter belongs with the whale. I do agree with
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah. But
I'm
I
just
get where you're coming
hoping-
from too, because that's
Yeah,
your
I'm
Cutter,
hoping
so
that
I
when
understand.
we get a classified version, he's more like this guy than that guy, because that guy with his that figure is so 1980s, it would be kind of ridiculous to bring him into the modern classified line. It works
Yeah,
for
you'd have to-
stretch, but
That's why they're doing retro. A good point. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Mhm, mhm.
so but the DEF, I really want to see them. I'm kind of hoping that we'll get a second mutt later that even if they make it the Mad Marauders version, look
Mhm.
at
Yep.
his color scheme for the DEF. It's
Yeah.
almost identical to the color scheme that he had for the Slaughter's Marauders.
Nailed it. I was
Mhm,
just
mhm.
gonna say that. Look at that. I don't even
So-
have to host. So just let you two guys chat. That's what's so great about the community. All right. So you mentioned, I'm gonna shift to Woody real quick. You
Yep.
mentioned Shockwave should be the leader. What do you think? Two-part question. So do we need a third Shockwave? And what do you think of that translucent tank?
I mean, as long as we get the Shockwave with the new buck, I mean, because they can't use that old one. And what do I think of the tint?
Yeah, you see that Ram tank, how it's like a translucent, it's almost like
Yeah,
a
see,
superpower
to
tank.
me, like they would use aspects of it, but they'd have to re-engineer all the weapons. I mean, I don't want no big glow in the dark thing on their back. I mean, they wouldn't stand to begin with. Never mind with that. But
Yeah.
so they'd have to re-engineer a lot of things, but I think the color schemes and the overall look of the figures are there. Definitely.
And I'm guessing you want him as the leader because he's already swapped. Right?
Yeah, he's
Is that
already the
pretty-
cop. This was, like I said, I was into Turtles at this point. I was getting like 11, 12. So I was into Turtles at this point, but I knew what they were. I didn't even know that the other guy was the leader. I just assumed Shockwave because he's the cop.
Yep. And then you can't have the DF without headhunters. Yeah, that's why we got the headhunters on the right. And those are some serious army builders. Right? I mean, you talked about big time classified
yeah.
army builder Woody, and I think you
I'd
both
buy the hell
agree
out
that
of
this
them.
would be. Yeah, I think Lenny's looking at his chops watching this right now, being like,
That's
"Yep."
like the render on the card is dope to me. Like even that weapon, they could kind of leave that one alone and just classify it up and add some details, and obviously no translucent stuff, but there's some potential here if you really think about it.
Yep. Just a couple comments real quick. Probably need a maskless Shockwave. Yeah, I agree with
Exactly.
that.
Yep. With the helmet,
and
just
then-
like the card.
Agreed. And then, classified will definitely do that. Cutter boots with the fur, the apple bottom. That's for
No.
JD right there. And then, what's up, Nerd Alert? What's up, fellas? Didn't cop the Snow CAT, but I'm pumped that I got. Yeah, see, that's what it's all about. Supporting the community, not hoping things fail and all that. That's just ridiculous. Like, why are you in the community if you want things to fail? You know what I'm saying? That's like it's just kind of ridiculous to me. Crusty Old Crow, what's up, my friend? The new classified Ghost Viper looks a hell of a lot like a swing at the headhunter type troop. Oh, okay. Okay. I like that.
That's a good
I like
point.
that.
I hadn't considered that, but good point.
Cool. Well, JD, it's your turn. You picked Anti-Venom Task Force, AVTF. Give us a reason why Valor versus Venom.
I've got a real weakness for that series of Joes that came out between 2002 and 2005. And I really like these guys. Firstly, I like this set because they dug up a bunch of molds that they hadn't repainted in a long time. But I just really like the idea behind these guys. But then I really like Cobra's Venomized Troopers. So if we get the G.I. Joe Anti-Venom Task Force, that means that they have to give us a bunch of classified Cobra V troops, especially Venomous Maximus to lead them. He's on my wish list of things that I want them to classify someday. But yeah, I would love to see, if a new updated Anti-Venom Task Force was their excuse to update Barricade, Charbroil, and Lifeline, dude, that would be great. Because I want a Lifeline figure that's not wearing Shoot Me Red, but that's just
For sure.
So Yeah, I want to see. I want to see a bunch of the 2000 and early 2000 stuff get updated for classified, but I want to start with the anti-venom guys. I love the lineup. I mean, they're a little ugly, I admit it, but
well, like the face is like, I mean, what's up with that face right there, man?
He looks like the dude from Something About Mary with them fucking teeth.
Yeah. See, the thing is, the vintage Mutt had the snarl on his face, but this one has the weird unnatural skin tone, so the teeth are a whole lot more obvious. That is horrible.
Sunburn Mutt or something. I don't know.
Yo, Duke looks like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, he does.
But that roadblock is handsome as shit for an O-ring, though, right? I mean, that's a good little modern 4-inch. That's a really good looking roadblock.
And you know what? They haven't given us a roadblock since Tiger Force. They're going to need an excuse to give us another roadblock at some point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's a staple.
Isn't it crazy that now, guys, that we're asking for roadblock? There was a time when roadblock was like, yeah, there was more roadblocks than Snake Eyes at some point.
Yeah, but
now
you're talking about Shin God roadblock. That don't count.
Well, we got him. We got the one that everyone called heavy duty.
I like that one.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Now we actually have a heavy duty, so I don't know. He's kind of like a Night Force roadblock is the one. I kind of make him a Night Force roadblock.
Yeah,
in a way. But yeah, this is a dope set. I wonder, one cool thing is that Cole Slither now opens the door for these kind of packs, right? Like
that's a good point. Yeah,
we went over the Brazil set recently, so that's why we're not going to go over it tonight.
Yeah. Brazil would have been.
Brazil is another.
That was my first choice. So you said it was taken, so I came back with that.
It was only taken because we had.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100% on that, man. I don't want to talk about the same shit.
Who is it? Mainframe's part of that, right? It's Footloose.
Yeah.
And,
it was Mainframe, dial tone, leatherneck, Wetsuit, and
Wetsuit.
Claymore.
So that's what it was. Claymore's Footloose. So basically, that's what it was when Wetsuit and Mainframe came out and were revealed and went up for pre-order. We went into now we can get Mission Brazil. So we went on to it for a while, but that's a great choice. All right, moving on.
Hope classified Mission Brazil dial tone does not have bright red pants. That's really bad.
Jerry Briscoe for my old school WWE fans, WWF fans. I had
the likeness is uncanny. That's a little scary.
Look at that. 1-to-1 barricade.
I don't know who they based that head sculpt for barricade on, but if it wasn't that guy, then somebody's dad looks a lot like that.
It's Jerry Briscoe, baby. One of Vince McMahon's henchmen there. So yeah, I wonder if we'll get Jerry again. I had to throw that in there. All right, cool. So the next choice is actually no one's choice at all. It's just something we're going to talk about for a little bit.
You know what? If they gave us classified Sgt Savage and GIJoe Extreme, dude, I'd buy the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to buy the shit out of anything at this point, classified.
All right, that is a good point. That's a very good point.
Before we move on, though, I want to give a shout out to GIJoe All-Stars on Facebook, the Dragon Fortress blog, 3D Joes, and GIJoe Club.com. We're using a lot of your images and shit, so I really appreciate it. A lot of great stuff there. So GIJoe Club, 3D Joes, of course, we always borrow Carson's stuff because he's the fucking man, and Dragon Fortress blog and GIJoe All-Star. So
hey, I followed the Dragon Fortress blog. That's cool.
You did what? You used to write there?
No, but I've been following it for years. So
no shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool. So this was not my choice, but GIJoe Extreme was my choice because I'm doing a video this weekend with GIJoe Now and Forever. But let's talk about Sgt Savage. All right. So the line was inspired by Captain America, World War II Cap, and Sergeant Rock from DC Comics. And crazy enough, the file card name was Hector Garrido. So I think it's pretty wild. And then the reason this is so blurry is because it's from a bootleg VHS. There's no clear image of this.
I had that VHS back in the 90s. I had the Sgt Savage figure. It was the only Sgt Savage I had. So I had that video, and that video, that one episode of that was on that video was better than the toy line.
That's pretty bad. But so the reason we're going with Sgt Savage and GIJoe Extreme is His Tank did an interview with Lenny and Tony. It was like a written interview, not like a video. And they said right off the bat, they said, all right, Sgt Savage, GIJoe Adventure Team, GIJoe Extreme, do these still belong to Hasbro, and are they on the table? And they said yes. So because everything's on the table, but it's important information because do they still own the rights? So Hasbro apparently still owns the rights to these IPs. And if you know, they like to pull from all over the place. You know, we've got a modern shooter, we got Shadow Tracker, they're making new characters. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see Sigma 6 characters, Sgt Savage, and the GIJoe Extreme, which we'll talk
I'd be
about.
all over some classified Sigma 6 stuff. I like that line. So,
but dudes, Sgt Savage has some mean ass looking bombers though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen the vehicles in person, but this one is really cool. I mean, I think the Fun School line in India released this thing, but I think it would make I know everybody wants a Sky Striker and a Conquest. I understand that, but I would not mind one of these in the classified scale.
No, this is sick. I love that front end.
I think it looked too old for them to go with what they're going with. Because it's like an old body style.
I agreed with that. It is like World War I, World War II.
Yeah, 51.
But yeah, I mean, maybe GIJoe has some. Maybe they're time travelers.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, so this is GIJoe Extreme. It was an animated series in 2006. Hey, look, it lasted 2 seasons. So, and it was Sunbow. Wow. That's the crazy part. Was Sunbow made this, and it was based on Faction War with Iron Claw. A lot of new characters. I mean, Hawk came back. Of course, we talked about Sgt Savage. He comes back, but 26 episodes before cancellation. And then we got the comic tie-ins. Very cool looking covers there. Were you guys ever reading or watching this at the time? Or are you just completely out of Joe?
Yeah,
I was out of Joe's.
I was 15 and I never outgrew GIJoe. I never outgrew GIJoe. When I was 15 is when this was released. And I read this book. I kept going back to the comic shop every month to get this book. So yeah, I did read it. I never outgrew GIJoe. So
all right, I love that. VHS tape. He's asking 6-pack. Was there a VHS tape of GIJoe Extreme?
Yep.
Okay. 95. This ain't 95, 96.
That villain looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Iron Claw is sick. He is sick.
Yeah, I really like Iron Claw. I think he's kind of obvious for classified because even the GIJoe Collectors Club did Iron Claw for their figure subscription service. So
yeah, we actually have images of that. But just before we get into Claw, we got Lieutenant Stone. So similar to Sergeant Stone, but we got Lieutenant Stone now. This is a character. Look, these were 4.5-inch figures, Kenner Batman style. But you could pull. They could definitely pull from some of this and classify them up. I can't see a reason. So there we have Iron Claw, as we mentioned, JD, and there's the original packaging and the original look. But even based on this kind of goofy scale, I mean, Kenner Batman was cool for its time, but there's a lot of cool. Like this would be sick classified, right?
Oh, absolutely. Look at what they did with the Iron Grenadier and what they've done with Crystal Ball and. I mean, they would do a sick update to Iron Claw, I think.
Is this up your alley, Woody?
Yeah, as long as it was, classified style and all that, anything's up my alley, really. I'm just a fan of GIJoe, but the 90s, I was out of it. I was onto something else, and then I got onto, life for a little bit, and then I came back.
Agreed. Yeah, I was out of Joe probably around 92, 93.
Yeah, I didn't get back into Joe till 99, I think. 98, something like that.
And then there's the look you were talking about, JD, with that's
a dope looking figure.
later. But yeah, that is like it, and you're right, JD, about the Iron Grenadiers, the way they kind of shifted that into something different. They could pull easily. We're talking about tooling next with with David Allen and Charlock Prime, but yeah, I mean we got some reuse right here from Iron Grenadier.
Fact, Charlock right there. He would fit in perfect with IG. You'd have to demote him a little bit, obviously, but he should be like in with IG and lose the go-go boots.
Yep, exactly. Just make him an Iron Grenadier for sure. Yeah, lose the go-go
Yeah,
boots.
same head sculpt and all that with the beret. That's dope.
They got those go-go boots, aren't the same one that Mindbender has? Similar. They're
Yeah, I don't
similar.
want those.
Nobody does. Nobody does. But yeah, I think it's classified. As long as that's why they're doing the retro carded line like we see on the front, and you keep things faithful to Sunbow and the original cartoon and the comic in there, and then you do what the fuck you want in classified. Like as far as I'm concerned. All right, and then here was the other character, JD. You have this one?
No, but a friend of mine does, and I've seen it up close, and I'm like, you know what? She's an action figure, kind of hot. I would like to see her in the classified line too.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this figure.
I think she was only in the cartoon originally. She didn't get a toy originally, but because the cartoon did a lot to fill out the Scar ranks, because all they had was the Trooper and Iron Claw in the toy line, but she was like the right-hand man to Iron Claw, and she's cool enough. I mean, even the club update.
Is she a dirty cop? Is that a cop hat on her head?
It was like I think it's like a M. Bison style hat.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like Nerd Alert's comment. For sure, this is definitely like a Red Shadows-esque character.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Man, there's been rumors about because Red Shadows we've seen with Operation Monster Force, Skeletron. So I think, Hasbro watches, they see this stuff. They see people making money off their money. So they're going to get involved with the UK version. But yeah, the Steel Raven's dope. This was the only other extreme character that was made in the club later, right, JD? That was that's the deal with that. Cool, very cool, very cool. Okay, so that's GIJoe Extreme. Look, we have time. I have time permitting in my notes, but we're under 30, so we can hit this next one. And this is the Eco Warriors.
Yeah. Can I vamp for just a second if nobody minds?
Your thing.
I have the GIJoe Eco Warriors tattooed around my arm.
Hold up. Go ahead.
All of the GIJoe Eco Warriors, including one of my own characters that I created.
That is wild, dude.
That is loyalty right there, man.
So,
that is loyalty.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I would love to see all the Eco Warriors in classified style. Maybe not
I've
Deep
been questioning
Six.
myself to get a Cobra symbol for 20 years.
Yeah, I've got the Arashikage and I've got my Eco Warriors. I almost got a Cobra sigil, but then I was like, am I just confusing my message here?
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, they had the what were the Toxo type C's? Selena says Toxo. What were those characters called that they made, Woody, that were from Walmart? They were like zombies, but kind of like Toxo Vipers in a way.
Oh, zombie vipers.
No, I'm talking classified. Another name.
The mole rat.
Yeah,
mole rat. I keep forgetting those things, but they're great. They're like in a box. I'm like, maybe I should put them out. They are cool, but this would fit in well with that story. If they wanted to do the Night Force and bring back the mole rats, you could throw these in and just trim down the neon a little bit, and it could work out.
See, they could do all this shit good right here, because like if you focus on the card art, it's dope, but they'd have to re-engineer all these weapons. Like nobody wants a big bulky tube friggin' thing and all this squirting water. I'm speaking for myself mostly, but I don't know if somebody wants that.
Might be the only one who's like, bring on the click action spray water.
I mean, you know what? I understand why the classified line is going to go without these gimmicks. but I like that they bring these ideas into the classified line with them. And Cesspool alone would make a badass update in classified.
Yeah.
Look at what they did with Slice and Dice. Look at what they done with all of the Dreadnoks. Imagine how cool a classified Cesspool would be. Even if they didn't do the rest of the Eco Warriors, they could make him because he was an environmental lawyer. He was a corporate lawyer before he got scarred and lost his mind and joined Cobra. So even if they just did Cesspool like on his own, dude, that would be awesome looking.
Yeah. And I do want to add a couple years ago, 2024, I think, maybe 23, we interviewed Lenny about classified, and Cesspool was brought up. It was one of the I wasn't like a leak, but it was like we threw it like, hey, name a character that's bizarre that you would do, and he's mentioned Cesspool, and that was a couple years ago. So
I think he mentioned Overkill too, and I'm still waiting to see follow up on that.
For sure. Hey, toys take 2 years to come out. Hey, I want to add, Septic Tank is the craziest name for a freaking for a GI Joe vehicle.
I don't know whether to roll it around or take a shit in it.
You know, a lot of people feel like that's what Hasbro did with this subline, but you know, I mean,
good call.
At the time, it made sense. I mean, Captain Planet was on the air. Everybody wanted to save the Earth. I know what they were doing, but it's a little gimmicky. But dude, oh, man.
No, to me, like the weapons are cool, but they didn't translate to the figure well. The execution wasn't good.
No,
like,
they didn't.
On the car art, the figure with the weapon looks dope, but if they could make it look more like that rather than a fucking 99-cent water gun, it'd be better, right?
Because honestly, the Toxo Viper right here with his green water launcher, it's friggin' cool looking. And
on card.
He looks
it's
like
a little bulky and stupid with the toy.
Yeah, they were just off with the translation from the art to the product. That's all.
And personally, I prefer the Toxo Viper version 2 design. I like the horns at the front. I know why people like the 1988 version, but I like this redesign. But if I had a choice, I'd pick the Sludge Viper first. He's really cool, and I would love to see that classified.
Yeah, and you could tell it that even back then they had some weathering. It's probably feces, but you know, it's there. It looks like it went in his face too. But
he got in the septic tank and friggin' you come out with doo-doo on you.
We ain't even drinking yet. Just drinking water and coffee, guys. Water and coffee.
Yep. I'm always like this. I don't drink, so.
yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate it. Hey, so check it out. I gotta ask JD. You were collecting this. You get the tats on your arm. Was there a Nerf tie-in to these back in the day? Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Believe it or not, no. In fact, GI Joe never actually had a tie-in with Nerf until, you remember a few years ago there was
a terrible looking gun that they canceled. They canceled it.
Yeah, they canceled it. But otherwise, that was it. That was the only tie-in with GI Joe that Nerf ever had, unless you count the first couple series of classified figures where they looked like they had Nerf guns.
Super Soaker. That's what I think that's what you meant. Super Soaker.
Yes. Sure. Hey, exactly. Yeah. They really no, the art on those was done by Doug Hart, not Hector Garrido.
Doug Hart.
Alert.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and he's with Operation Recall. So
nice.
Cool. And then there's a look at the characters outside the plastic prison.
Those would look good in classified form.
And you know what? Yellow. They're doing retro Flint, but after that, they're going to need an excuse to do another Flint. So I think Eco Flint would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Clean Sweep. We're still waiting on Airtight. So, and I don't know why Airtight wasn't one of the Eco Warriors in the first place. In my tattoo,
I thought they were supposed to use that mole rat buck for him and freaking get him out by now.
He belongs with the Eco Warriors.
All right, say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. I don't think he can hear us. Hey, JD, say that again about the tattoos. I want you to show the tattoo what you were
Oh
talking
no,
about.
no, I just said airtight. Airtight is part of my Eco Warriors tattoo because I don't know why he wasn't in the lineup originally.
Yeah, cool. And then what was your comment, Woody, sir, about that? We had a cross. So what were you
I
saying?
don't even remember, bro.
It's all good, all good. I just trying to get everyone's stuff in. Look, was there
I'm
any
sorry.
other before we go? We got a few more minutes left. Was there any other teams? You mentioned Mission Brazil. Were there any not just teams, but obviously sublines like GIJoe Extreme, Sgt Savage is a subline. Is there any other subline or team that you'd like to see in classified? And I'll start with you, Woody.
No, not really. I mean, I'd like to see them expand on an existing line, the IG line, which is my favorite. So I'd like to see them make some major blood shit like that, IG style, something like that. But not really. I'm a 82 through 90 guy. That's kind of my wheelhouse right there.
Are you kind of surprised that they did not announce an IG Destro at Comic-Con?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they're saving it for 10/27 or something like that, but they need to come out with that like ASAP, in my opinion.
I like that. Good call. While we have you, just tell people where we can find you and what your channel is.
You can find me on YouTube, Woody222, the Figure Addict. That's my channel name. And like I said, I just show shit and move on to the next thing. And then Saturdays at 6 p.m. on Same Time Toys channel. 6 p.m. Eastern, we just talking Joes and smoking Joes. It's called. I'm smoking and we're talking about Joes. So if you don't like smoking, don't watch. We're good with it. We promise.
That's what's up. I love it. Hey, let's see. His Wi-Fi went down again. But JD, any other subline or sub team that you want to get in before we get going that you want to see in the classified line?
No, I just want them to keep expanding on the ones they've done. I want them to circle back to Tiger Force. I'm waiting on Jinx and Stalker, damn it. But
all right, Jinx, I
really
see.
And they're gonna have to go back for Tiger Force Lifeline. But honestly, I want to see more of what they've already given us, especially the Iron Grenadiers. But in a year or two, or 2 years from now, I would love to see them start getting into these really obscure teams.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's when you kind of know it would be coming to the end, right? When they start getting into this shit.
Oh, well, I think it's because he can't hear us. That's why his Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll go to you, Woody. Say that again.
That's when we start seeing this, we're kind of going to realize that we're getting near the end, I would assume, because I mean, it could keep going if they keep creating, but you can only keep something going for so long, and then you have to kind of axe it and start over.
I don't know. You
My
see
opinion.
an end. You see a finish line for classified. When I talk to them at Comic-Con,
yeah,
or their
I mean,
interviews, it seems like
I'll collect them as long as possible. But I don't. They're just gonna move on to something else. That's just the way of the world, really.
Yep.
It might last another 10 years. I hope it does and beyond. But how much shit can you actually buy?
Your boy Baldy's in the comments. Look at Woody doing Woody stuff.
Yeah. Always.
That's what's up. JD, where can we find you? And I think you have another guy from A Toy Kind of Mood joining you this weekend, right?
Tony will be on with us this weekend. My podcast is General Geekery. You can find it hosted on YouTube at my co-host Brian's YouTube called Go Figure Customs. So Brian is he hosts our podcast on his channel, but you can find all of his customs on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I just want to say thanks for having me on. This was awesome.
Dude, this was awesome. I had such a good time talking to you guys, and I know I brought the right guy on for teams, JD, because you're an encyclopedia of 90s Joes, and you crushed it. And Woody, So many laughs, bro. Love
Yeah.
you bringing in the heat and the knowledge on the DEF and so forth. So we gotta do this again, both of you guys, for sure. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, I forgot to tell everybody too.
Excellent.
You can follow
Yeah,
me on
'cause,
social media
Moody-
at I don't fucking have one.
Dude, to get Woody on, I'm fucking emailing him. But you did give me your number, so I forgot. Like, we're texting and stuff too. But it's like literally, and then I'm like trying to tag everyone to promote the show, and I'm like, this motherfucker
Untaggable, bro. Untaggable. Motherfuckers have told me that before. You're untaggable, bro. I love it.
I love it. Untaggable, undeniable. JD, Woody, we'll see you on a toy kind of mood in the future, and General Geekery and Woody.
All right.
Too.
Thanks, Trev.
See you then. All right.
Later, everybody.
Out. All right. Round 2, future proofing and tooling. And we've got a few guests. Let's bring on one of them right now. All right. He was backstage. Fine. David, fine. You waited 40 minutes, but I appreciate it. We were supposed to go 45 and 41. We didn't make you wait that long.
Hey, I appreciate you just having me on. I enjoy it. I had a really good time watching that. Man, I kept wanting to comment while you guys were talking. There's so much cool stuff that you were talking about. Man, I know why Airtight was not part of the Eco Warriors. I interviewed Vinny D'Aleva, and he said they wanted a leader that they hadn't used in a while, and Flint was the character that they used, and they totally dropped the ball, and they really regretted not having Airtight in the Eco Warriors.
Sometimes you can't knock it out 100%, just like the off striker that's buried in the corner, or it happens. It happens. You can't always go 100%. Look, we're going to talk about future proofing and tooling. Before that, and you got the most extravagant name in the history of GI Joe coverage, the GI Joe New News Review.
That's correct.
Where can we find that?
What was that?
Where can we find that?
On YouTube. I have a channel. We cover classified reviews 5 years after their initial release. We compare and contrast the vintage versions with the classified versions, do a little history lesson for those. I also do normal information, new GI Joe news, new information for new toy lines, and so on and so forth. I also
hold on. Not new GI Joe news, new news. That's where we can find the new news. Okay. All right, look, there's someone here that I think you might have met at Joe Fest, and it's my guy Charlock Prime. What up, dude?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
You guys met at Joe Fest?
Yeah.
I've met everybody at Joe Fest.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much run that shit. Don't tell Ed I said that.
He knows.
All right, Darren's in here, your buddy. Airborne Customs.
What's up, man?
That's what's up. Darren, behind the scenes, does a lot for a toy kind of mood. I appreciate it. Some of our review stuff, I'd be like, hey, I gotta do this now, and I'm not home. I'm in a damn hotel. I can't find my figures. Where was this torso from? And he'll just like send me a screenshot and shit. He's aces. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Look, we're going to talk about future proofing and tooling, but look, almost this whole show was David Allen's idea. I'm not going to go away and pretend it was me. I won't say the way it was set up and all that. That's Baldy and KJ gave me some great ideas. But David, you pitched the show to me, and I was like, all right, well, maybe that's not going to be enough for 2 hours or 3 hours. But it was certainly enough to be a segment on the show, about 40, 45 minutes. And it's about tooling and future proving. You gave me a list, and Santa Claus would not be happy with this list. So we're not going to go through all 30 or 25. I really appreciate it, man. You did the groundwork on this. We're going to go over about 9 or 10 tooling, future proofing. What is GI Joe going to use? What is Hasbro going to use from their current classified pre-orders and orders from last year and this year into the future? And I think it's a great subject. So I really appreciate all the ideas and the groundwork you did for me on this show.
It's my pleasure. I've been trying to get on the show for a few years.
Hey, now you know how I feel when I talk to Full Force. It's like, yeah, mate, you can be on this. Oh, mate, that's Australian. Whatever. You can. I'm all screwed up here. This coffee's got me all messed up. He's like, hey, yeah, you'll be on this week, and then I'll be like, okay, Chris, what time am I showing up? Oh man, I got to redo the intro. Maybe not this time. I'm like, all right, now I feel like how David Allen feels trying to get on a Toy Con movie. But look, you're a great mind in the business. You help out edit Joe Fest. You're a savior in the community, and that's what this is all about. So I really appreciate you. Charlock, your turn, man. You've been on the show before. What are you working on, and where can we find your stuff?
I got my tag there for Instagram. That's really all I do right now. There might be something in the works as far as YouTube goes. Maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You should be a frequent guest on the Terradrome if that ever comes back. I know Tony and KJ were going to continue this, and I have no doubt that they're going to do an amazing job with Gun Bunny and some of the other folks from the community. So we'd love to see you on there. What are you working on? I just finished one project, just a real quick one. I say real quick. It took me about a week. Well, it's 99% done. Let's say that.
Oh,
nice.
I want to put a red lens in the eye there, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Wow, I'm pretty happy with that too. That's pretty sick. All right, did you grab the red divers?
No, this is an eel.
No, I know it's an eel, but did you grab the red divers in
no,
addition?
No,
the red and yellow?
No, I skipped
Cool.
that one.
But we have a perfect segue because the first one we're going to talk about for tooling is Wetsuit, right? So we got Wetsuit announced, and let me get rid of this thing so you can see the toes. So we got these webbed feet, the Hydro Viper fins. I mean, everybody immediately was like, yeah, why would they spend money on this? And that's what it's all about. It's doing different things, classifying up the OG, the retros to future proof. Charlock, you just made an amazing custom of the Cobra Eel. What are you thinking about what they're going to be doing with Hydro Viper, and how would you go about it?
Oh yeah. So when I saw that picture of Wetsuit and those fins that he's got, that's the first thing that came to my mind was the Hydro Viper, because they're perfect. They're exactly. I mean, that's what they'll use. They'll repaint those things in a heartbeat and use those for the Hydro Viper. But yeah, that's one of the. It's one of the crazier Vipers, right? It's wilder design, a little bit more crazy than your eels or something like that.
Genetic manipulation.
Yeah, and Lenny's going to be all over doing a ray of some kind for him. But yeah, it's one of those that I probably wasn't real big on it as a kid because I think I only owned one. But now that I'm looking at it and thinking about what they'll do in the classified line, I'm like, bring it on. Let's do it.
Yep.
I was a big eel fan as a kid, but for some reason I never got a Hydro Viper. So I'm like, I don't know why. You figured it would appeal to kids. Maybe I thought it was even too goofy as like a 10-year-old or 11-year-old or whatever. But yeah, I didn't grab it. But now with figure and pet being so popular, right? Law and Order is the newest one, and people are going nuts over that. And then of course we got the red diver, yellow diver. So in Wetsuit here announced, we're starting to see some waves of stuff that makes sense. David, with the Ghost Viper and all those crazy, wacky animal faces, this is a mask that kind of fits that profile, right?
Oh yeah. The funny thing that you're showing this Wetsuit, and he was also a future-proof thing. We knew there was a Wetsuit coming like 3 figures back. When you look at those divers that were announced, the Legacy Marine or whatever it was, diver and stuff, he was obvious that he was coming, and we know that this figure is going to come and it's going to be hugely popular. But if you read his file card, you will be astonished how creepy this guy is.
Charlock, do you know about Wetsuit's creepiness?
Not Wetsuit, the Viper.
The Viper.
I thought you were talking about Wetsuit.
Not Wetsuit, the Viper's.
Oh, it was like the guy that looks like Oscar Isaac is getting creepy vibes. What is this, an episode of Beef season 2? But seriously, good call. Also, the Hydro Viper. Yeah, I mean, he's got the mask. Of course, he's a creep. But I want to know what he looks like under the mask, and that's what we're gonna find out in Classified.
Yeah. So they do these type of situations where they give a piece of someone's equipment, or they give like some of their costume or whatever, and you're like, okay, yeah, we know that they're not just making this stuff up for the hell of it. They're gonna use it down the line. The Glenda was the perfect thing to express that. Because once Glenda was revealed, you're like, oh, there's Vince's Scarlet, right?
Yep. Nailed it. All right, let's get into the next one. And speaking of Glenda, look at the segues that we got on the show. It's magic. I'll stick with you, David, on this because you just talked about Glenda. Now, this was released last year, not this year. Most of the stuff we're going to talk about is for 2025, but everybody wants Flash, and everybody thought Flash was going to be in the next wave. It isn't. It's sci-fi instead. Were you okay with that choice going with sci-fi? And then how soon are we going to get Flash?
I was okay with sci-fi because it seems like we've been waiting 5 years to get a sci-fi, because it was pretty much announced during Operation Blackout there was going to be a sci-fi. But then the fans took a huge turn, and they were like, no, we do not want that science fiction stuff. We don't want blue lasers, blah, blah, blah. And so they must have had to retool sci-fi, and it took 5 years to finally get them. But I would have liked at some point to get that Operation Sci-Fi. But no, I'm fine with sci-fi. Flash is also fine. I want everybody, and I sometimes think you can't do everything all at once. You gotta pepper it in. I think they're doing it the right way.
And that's exactly why it takes so long for all the Dreadnoks and OG-13 and stuff, because if they crank those out now, you're gonna have people literally quitting the line. And I think it's smart that they're spacing it out. I love this comment from Liquid Identity. So you got liquid and hydrogen there, so that works. Yeah, hydros are genetically mutated. I'm sure Lenny will make some sort of lizard. I think this is brilliant because it's going to continue all the stuff that we're getting from Mindbender and all this Twisted and Crystal Ball. You could definitely tie that in. Darren is here as our insurance. He says Retro Scarlet was designed prior to Glenda. That said, when they designed Retro Scarlet, they had Glenda in mind, or vice versa, right? So that makes sense. And then look, imagine Flash and Grand Slam in a 2-pack. Charlock, do you think that would happen?
I mean, they're doing that with Short Fuse and Steeler, right? I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
Exactly. Question from Nerd Alert. Is there a third-party version of Flash's laser rifle? Not feeling that with Glenda. Oh, do you? So I'm guessing you don't have the Dragonfly, because if you do, you just take it from her and give it to someone else, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on from there, and we'll go to you, Charlock. Now we got the Baroness with the Rattler, and then the easy look of that. Why would they do a whole new buck on a Rattler Baroness? I should first ask, do you have the Rattler?
Yeah, I do. It's not open though. I just got
finally opened mine last night.
Nice.
And I had to clear off all the shelves, and I made it work. Bring on the Snow CAT. There's room for the cat. You just got to move one of those things. But yeah, it worked. Anyway, you got the Rattler, and you've seen, but you have at least seen Baroness.
Oh yeah.
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 So tell me about her possibilities with being retro.
Well, I mean, this is a great example, right? I mean, Super 7. This is kind of Super 7's venue, the cartoons. But yeah, I know there are a lot of people that want to see cartoon Baroness in the classified line too. So I mean, we're gonna see more Baronesses, right? They're not done with her by far. I'm almost positive they're going to do an Iron Grenadiers version when they do IG Destro. I don't think we're done with seeing Baroness by far.
There's at least 3 major versions of her that have yet to be made yet.
Continue.
Oh, the Arctic, the Arctic variant Baroness cover that was in, I think it was IDW, that they did. Beautiful Arctic version. This vintage mass device version, and then an IG version. If they're gonna do a Crimson version of her, they're doing an IG version. So there's your three major versions right there.
Yeah, I think this is the next one. It's just so easy. You even get the flight helmet that came with the Rattler one too. So I think this is easy. Throw in a couple Sunbow inspired weapons and tint her glasses and way to go. Because yeah, I mean, I was like, Lenny, why the hell would you do a whole new buck of Baroness when you just did one? And it makes sense because we're gonna get stuff in the future. And here's another look.
Well, and they
now we got the diver. We got the diver Baroness, which we've seen in the comic and we've seen in the modern era, but we haven't really. It wasn't part of the original cartoon, though, right?
She was in the cartoon in the diver costume, but they didn't do a figure of her. No.
Right. Exactly. So we got those red, the red divers, even though they're male, and then you could use Baroness. So I think we'll see the retro one, but this is always a possibility if they do more mass device stuff.
And they did make some, they alluded to the fact that the three that we got were this year's only mass device, meaning that we probably will get more mass device next year.
So you think we'll get more mass device stuff, or is that first wave? Because that was the question I asked in my ranking review. And by the way, if you watched it, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just did a ranking video of the 3 mass device sets that came out. The Cobra versus Joe Diver, the Polar Bear and Snake Eyes, and Breaker. So appreciate those who checked out the video. And I said, do we really have enough for another mass device? And you agree?
Yes, definitely. I'm shocked that the vintage cover girl was not utilized as a mass device figure, because it is totally mass device color scheme. So I think that there's an opportunity to do a Baroness in scuba gear. There's vintage Major Blood mass device. There's who else? They did Gung Ho in his teal outfit already. But I think there's some other characters you could do as mass device, depending upon the environments. Like there's Arctic versions of characters and stuff. I just think you could do it. Just do the mass device itself and stick Sparks or General Flag or somebody.
Yeah. All right, Charlock, your turn. Do you think there's going to be more mass device stuff? And if so, what do you want to see in it?
I definitely think there's going to be more mass device stuff. The demand is there. I don't necessarily have it because I kind of skip the cartoon stuff because I'm just more into the classified, those designs. But yeah, I know several people who are very into the mass device, and that's pretty iconic too. So I definitely see more mass device coming.
So are you okay with them including the Sunbow stuff into the retro carded, or did you want retro carded to be 1-to-1 from the old toy?
Oh no, I don't care about that. That just saves me money. That way I don't have to buy everything.
You have the right attitude, sir. I'm gonna stick with you, Charlock, for this one. Oh, if it works. Yeah, there we go. We mentioned the IG Baroness, or you did. And then now we got IG Destro. I asked Woody, I was like, at the end of our last segment, Woody 222, he was like, dude, wow, are you shocked that they didn't even announce this at Comic-Con? So they're probably saving some of their firepower. What do you think of the possibilities, and when should we expect a Iron Grenadiers Destro?
I'll tell you when I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him. Yeah, well, this is one of my favorite Destro designs. I mean, it's Iron Grenadiers, so it's iconic again, and I love the Iron Grenadiers. So as soon as they can get it to us, and preferably with the despoiler, even if it's an exclusive, I don't give a shit. Just give me my IG Destro with the despoiler, and I'll be happy. I'd like to say next year, maybe. I don't. The deeper we get into this year, and the closer we get to fall, I don't think we're going to see IG Destro this year. I don't think it's going to happen. But hopefully, I'd like 2026 for sure. I'd love to see it.
I think it's going to get announced this year, Sherlock. But I think you're right. I don't think we'll get it till next year because if I'm connected to a bunch of vendors and the other side of the toy industry, and I know that this was presented as something that toy stores and companies could order. So I know it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
Look at this guy eating food.
Hey, Tony.
What up, people? How you doing?
Hey,
What's up, Tony?
hey, Travis. You know, Tony is one of those guys you got to watch your back because you could be doing something and all of a sudden he'll like tackle you and give you a hug in the middle of like a conversation or whatever. He's a really cool, great guy.
Yeah, I already gave him a hands-off policy, or I threatened a restraining order. So we have that agreement for future Joe Fest. But I'll let you want to finish eating, Tony. You're backstage. I put you backstage. You want to finish? Okay. I don't know what thumbs up means. You means you're good, or you? All right, he's eating. All right, I'll let him eat, and I'll bring him on when he's done. Just send me a PM when you're done. All right, look, so we got the Twilight Guard, and this was a great choice. Obviously, I mean, look at the pictures. God damn, it's like one to one. You just change the helmet out, and get rid of the purple color. So good stuff.
They were testing this. You know, it's so obvious. They were testing this technology to see how it would work, if people would respond to it. It's Destro's coming. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Cloth
cape, please.
Yeah, and here's another look because we got the Twilight Guard. Yeah, because you don't make up a Crimson Guard character for no reason, right? Because it's part of a 2-pack. It's sort of a throwaway set, and I don't mean that in any.
I love
that.
It.
You know, like look, yeah, it's fine. It's cool. I mean, you got all those Nerf blasters. You got the Chewie Nerf blaster there and all that stuff. But you know, it was a cool set. I think it's kind of underrated, the set, to be honest. But
the color scheme alone is awesome, and that cape is badass.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got some Halloween vibes, but I think the cape really made this one shine, and I think it was smart to do, and it's an easy smart reuse. So for sure, this is definitely one of the most anticipated characters, IG Destro, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, 100%. But you're talking about future proofing. That Twilight Guard could also be ahead of the Shadow Guard, which was a 4-inch figure. So there's like multiple future proofing with this figure.
And I agree with Jedi Ben. What's up, man? Yeah, I agree. Gold vac metal would make him. That's why I'm thinking like I see people in the comments, SDCC 2026, or Woody mentioned 1027. Charlock, you said next year. I think it's gonna. I don't think IG Destro just comes out. No. I think it's going to be some kind of celebration. He may not come with a despoiler. I know there was leaks that he's a deluxe character without the despoiler. We'll see. Maybe that changed. Maybe that's why it's taken so long. So we'll see. Let's move on though. So we were talked about winter characters with Winter Baroness, and now we got Lady J. And we're gonna do a deep dive in our next segment into HasLabs, the success of the Snow CAT overnight, and the future of the Arctic line. But for now, we've got Arctic Lady J reuse, and it is a little different based on this image, but I think your head was in the right place, David, with Dinah.
Yeah, because she was in the new sculpt era and she was a Joe. So, you know, I think they can get away with this October Guard member. Maybe the other ones they might have a little bit tougher time with, but this one is a no-brainer. Any character that has appeared in winter gear like in Sunbow or like this, there's they open that floodgate for all those versions. Yes, Dr. Mindbender, they already did him in the FSS club line. So any of those characters, we're gonna get them. That just gives us not necessarily a faction, but another way to get Flints and Lady J's and Dr. Mindbenders and Baronesses and Dusties and so on and so forth. Because they're getting to a point where how are they going to do these characters? Yeah, they're a Tiger Force. Yeah, they're a Night Force. Yeah, they're Eco Warriors. But what else? They've got to start peppering different things. And I think this is the perfect way to do that. Not only water versions, Arctic versions.
Well said. Charlock, you have, did you back the cat?
I did not. No, I skipped the Snow CAT.
So we should just skip you on this and get rid of it. No, but do you have any opinion on the reuse of you're a customizer. Any opinion on the reuse of Flint and Jay, regardless of your backing habits?
Oh I can see them reusing this. I like the legs on this Lady J figure a lot more than I like hers on the original figure.
She'll stand much better for sure.
Yeah, and the jackets on both her and Flint, definitely, we'll see those reused for sure.
We got a question in the comment. All right, here we go. Hi, it's me. What is the image from? David, do you know where that image from Dinah is? I don't know. I grabbed it and don't know where it's from or where I got it from. I apologize.
It looks to me like it's a variant cover of an IDW comic. I could be mistaken, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it could also just be something from like Tumblr, or like someone actually drew this and it's not part of the line. So I apologize where I got this from. And then Dr. Mindbender. Look, they made a retro one, which is pretty much 1-to-1. We got the Cobra logo on the back and some brighter purples and stuff and silvers, but we pretty much got this. I feel like they're gonna get more reuse out of that. There had to be a reason, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't waste tooling for nothing. That's something they have to do in order to cut costs and stuff like that. It's just one of those things. Part of doing business, as they say, right?
Cool. All right, let's bring on our special guest, as Bobby Bear would say on every episode leading up to 235. Romo, what up, man? How you doing, my friend?
Doing well, man. Just trying to cope with this 7th level of hell that's Phoenix, Arizona.
But you're home. God. But you're home. You're in front of a DTOF. You're not working today.
Now I am. No, I just got in from the store and everything, so had to eat. Like, oh my gosh. So I'm kicking it.
I feel you, Tony. We're in Florida in the middle of 103-degree weather
with humidity,
and occasionally humidity on top of it.
Yeah. It was 109 here today.
Oh my God!
In Nebraska, it was 109.
Wow! And we actually got cool weather in the valley in Los Angeles, the valley where it's always hot. It's only 84 today. I was outside and I was like, wow. Like even my air condition is having a break today. I'm loving it. So, all right, perfect. So just to catch you up to speed, Tony, I know that we were supposed to go Wednesday and you were going to work, and then it all kind of, we're just going over, we went over the teams with Woody and JD Onesie. You're going to be on General Geekery too. You want to plug that in again and say what day that is and what time?
Oh my God, I think he moved it to Sunday, JD.
Yeah.
He moved it to Sunday, but I have to look back and see what time.
I forgot to thank him for that, because originally he was supposed to be on Wednesday and he had a podcast and then he shifted it. And I'm glad he did, because his Wi-Fi was a little funky, but man, he knew so much about Eco Warriors and all that shit. Man, he had the tattoos.
Please, Eco Warriors. I'm glad
I saw that earlier. I'm like,
speaking of bright colors, here's a segue for you. Ninja Force, yes. T-bang, she moves. Romo, I'm going to you. You like ninjas. Do you like bright yellow mustard ninjas?
Fuck no. No, but I mean, I was still collecting the comic when the Ninja Force came out. And in the comic, they were okay. They were cool. I don't remember that bright a yellow, but yeah, man, it's just something I would like make more modern. I mean, you can, classify this guy up with this gear, and I'll probably change him up a little bit.
Look what they did with Budo. They can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be badass.
Oh, I like this.
Mine's right above me.
Oh, what was that again?
I mean, bring them on, because we got. I'm ready for the rest.
I gotta grab them. We'll hide your camera. There you go. We'll bring you back.
But he's an older character. You may not realize that, Travis. This is an older character, more like a sensei type of a character. And so I think you could do some interesting things with this.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
For sure. I just want to bring in this comment here. Jason says, the backlash is silent. The outfit is loud.
Hey, we got an all-white dress ninja. Let's get a blazing yellow ninja out there, too.
Yeah. Second stupidest name in Joe. First goes to Ice Cream Soldier, which is complete ass. Yeah, but we're gonna get Ice Cream Soldier because now that we got Pythona, Emily's favorite character is Ice Cream Soldier, and she promised at Comic-Con that we're gonna get it. Hey Baldy, thanks again for Crystal Ball. Walmart canceled my order. Yeah. I think I got like 3 coming today. If anyone needs
I got
the
one
next
coming from Spec.
Okay. Very cool. Jason says, I'm down with more Ninja Force. What up, Jason? He was on a Toy Kind of Mood last week, or my birthday episode, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. It was a long time ago now, but I appreciate that. Chijibang is a silent ninja. You'd know who his teacher is.
That's right.
Snake Eyes. Very cool. All right, we got him there. He's blurry now because I messed up.
No, that's
There we go.
Charlock's own commercial. Not
Oh, you're
commercial.
gonna- oh, there we go.
Now I can't get it to focus.
Goddamn Logitech.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, I'll get you.
from what I can see. That looks really nice.
All right,
There you
now
go.
we got. Let's see. We got.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got it now.
Very cool,
Oh!
brother. Hell yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. Look at it. Respect it.
Man, they need to hire you at Hasbro.
Right? Yeah, screw Tony's figs. We got Charlock Prime.
Yeah, baby. That's
Yeah.
right.
Tony is phenomenal too.
No, Tony is one of the greatest. You know, I forgot who I was talking about. I was talking with, but someone was like, you know, Tony's figs. Tony, he makes figures that are just like right from the classified line, and that's what that looked like. Charlock, like that Shebang, whatever the hell his name is. That was an excellent
Yeah, thanks,
figure.
man. I appreciate that.
You got some Jay's Armory on that, Charlock?
What'd you say?
You got some Jay's Armory on him?
Yeah. Either I think the vest is from
Vest
Jay's. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right, very cool.
I'm curious if because Larry picked a lot of the names for these, and he's famous for using Arashikage characters with the I Ching. I wonder if Chabang
Right.
or Chazing or whatever his name is are both from the I Ching library.
Very good question.
Could be. That's over my pay grade. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Capitan Virgil Gifton. Hey, fellas. First time offender here. Hey, Tony's.
Capitan.
Capitan.
What
Very
up?
cool. Taziki. All right, we're getting way off track. Let's move on to the next one. But David,
Travis doesn't like
I'm going to
that.
go to you for Dojo, man.
Again, I feel we have a lineage of these martial art characters going back to the Red Ninjas in like, what was it, number 7 or 8 or something? They've been building that library of parts for like 200 figures. So all these parts are all there. All they have to do is repurpose them. Again, he's another older martial artist, and I think it'd be great. I know we're going to get him, and it's just a matter of time, and I think it'd be great.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Charlock, you made a custom of Chibang. What about Dojo?
No dojo yet.
No
Dojo.
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 Come on, you stuck in
Dojo.
there, Charlock.
Thoughts on this though? Another garish yellow in there, but I don't know. What do you think?
I like the Ninja Force. I can't get past it. I mean, there's some stupid figures in there. Dojo's not my favorite. Dojo's not my favorite, but I did Slice and Dice quite a while back, and Slice is one of my favorite figures from that line.
Slice
Full
and dice.
stop. So
Did you see? I'm not trying to like promote it, but did you happen to see the review I did? Just that, because I want your opinion of what you saw.
Yeah, I did. I can't wait. I can't wait to get them. I was hoping they'd had some surplus when they got done with that DCC, but no word on that yet.
No, I was blown away from that set, believe it or not. I mean, as much problems I had with an Ostriker, this one I had like 0. I was like, do I give this a 5? But like, yeah, it was so good. The amount of detail they put on those sets. So this gives me no doubt that these are going to be good, because they're not just going to be stupid, bright yellow and plain. They're going to put in the work. Multiple masks. Like Tony says on the show all the time, they Mortal Kombat the fuck out of them, right? So
Yeah.
They will classify these up pretty good, I bet.
Oh man, I am so looking forward to that slice and dice. I ordered like 5 sets. That's like one of my most anticipated sets of figures that they've ever come out with. I can't wait.
They look
I
great.
think it's brilliant.
They look awesome.
It's brilliant that they're original characters, but you can mix and match and build them and make the supporting characters to go along with the OG. Speaking of Bushido, you mentioned this earlier, David.
Yeah, no, see, this is supposedly an Arctic Arashikage ninja. Supposedly,
okay.
I don't know how true that is, but it's obvious that all of these ninjas are going to be so awesome. Imagine all this stuff in the different martial arts, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter battles. I would love to get like some of those cool like stands and fireballs that Street Fighter Jada figures have, and have these guys doing that stuff and having some dioramas and some photos with this stuff, because it is so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way, Tony?
This one hurts my eyes looking at him.
It's his
But
camera.
I thought I would get confused with Budo and Bushido, but now I mean I just looking at that crazy shit. They'll classify him up pretty good without changing him that much. But this like David was saying, this is the Arctic ninja. So I mean they got to do something within these lines. But I mean. This is what Collectors Club. This was Ninja Force, all that. It came out after I was out of the line, but I mean, bring them all on, because if Classified will do their thing, but other customizers will take a crack at it and mess with them a lot. So that's all I'm looking forward to.
And yeah, just to make it clear, Kyle Gesso, otherwise known as Budo, is the one that many of us pre-ordered, the Shaolin looking one with the old, it's like his grandfather's Shaolin outfit, and then the modern tactical. This is Bushido. So you're right. It is very confusing. This isn't like V2 Budo, or it's a different character, nonetheless. So let's move on from ninjas. All right. Full on arms here. We've got Big Ben and Red Star. Charlock, what do you think of this?
I like Big Ben. I wish I would have had him do it a little bit different on Big Ben. The sculpted on cap. I'm not a big fan of, but it's a good figure. I mean, he's on my shelf, and I don't do the Night Force thing, but I had to have a Big Ben.
Right. So do you think we'll go to just I don't feel like a regular Big Ben right now fits in what they're doing, but they could use some of this for possible October guard and just kind of slip those in. I know there's a lot of controversy with that being Russian. We've gone over it before. They're not all Russian. They're part of the Russian Joes, like the world Joes, I should say, the European Joes, Eastern European Joes, and there's less ties to Russia than most people think. But
it's international, but yeah, I think both of these characters are must. Version 1 of Big Ben, and then Red Star. And if you wanted to put Red Star with Dana as a 2-pack, it just makes sense.
Right. Now we're tying in 2 of our picks here. I would like to see that. I think if you put Dinah, with Red Star, that could kind of tease the water instead of, because I know people like, give me all the October guard. And I was like, I don't think they're just going to give like a 5-6 pack of that. I think this is smart to like throw in a couple here and there and see how they do. And if they do well, then come back in. Yeah, Warsaw Pact is right from Jason. Tony, what are you thinking?
I would love Big Ben on a retro card. I think that would be awesome. And I mean, if they can get over all the bullshit, red tape, and all the whatever controversial, just give us the damn October guard. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep myself from making them, but with all the crap going on, who knows when we'll get them, if we'll get them, because they look like a lot of fun to make. Like Charlock knows, we got a lot of fodder to use to make them already.
Oh yeah.
You can use Saw Viper to make that purple guy.
Oh yeah, that weird purple guy. I don't even know. I just know the core, like Shraj and Stormovic and all the rest. Those are like the core guys that would always, come out of the hind. And the core members. I forgot Red Star. I forgot that other guy you're talking about. Yeah, that'd be good. I bet you if they did a 2-pack with every single member of October Guard, they'd be money in the bank.
Dragonsky, as Darren says in the chat. I do want to just talk about this comment. What's up, Chris D'Amato? Always great to see you. We need a retro Big Ben with the old school backpack. That was the glaring thing from this figure. All those damn guns, like tons of guns, right? Like the Gangstar song, and no backpack at all. That was kind of like what was it? Alpine was missing a backpack. Like some characters that need a backpack didn't come with it, and I hope that's addressed
in the future. That's been a weird thing. Going back to 5 years and reviewing this stuff, some characters had backpacks that wouldn't work. Some didn't have backpacks. Some had ones that shouldn't have had. It's like they can't figure out who should have a backpack and how to get it to work properly. That's one of the major problems of this line over the 5 years. I hope someday they'll fix that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Very true. We got to say we're an hour and 20 minutes into this on a Friday. We've had over 100 people watching, so that means a lot to me. Thank you so much on a not normal night. So just like the damn show. That's it. Like the show, and we appreciate if you're new to the channel because your buddy's on tonight. We've got a lot of different guests from the GIJoe community. Hello, welcome, and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. And yeah, that's right. Tons of guns. You got, we got. So all right, moving on to the next one. Tony, I'm going to go to you, bro. We just talked about Red Star, and then we're getting into Arctic stuff, and we did a whole show on Whiteout and Big Ben, but you mentioned a retro Big Ben. What about an Arctic Big Ben, seeing how he has similar outfit to the Flint?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We just got, the Snow Cat's coming. They're going to build out more Arctic stuff. If you do this Big Ben and Whiteout, in Arctic gear like that, hey, let's get Arctic Snake Eyes. Let's get Quinn. Let's get some more guys. You already got the tooling for it with Lady J for the female and Flint for the male. Put a Duke head on that, and you're good. So that'd be awesome. But yeah, that Red Star is dope. I forgot all about him. I was thinking about Colonel Brekov. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this Red Star figure is a good, and it's a name that's not controversial. I guess Red Star is if you really think about it, but it's not like a Russian name. So if they wanted to avoid Drakalski and all these
Dragonsky.
Yeah, just get right. Just put Red, there you go. Just put Red Star. October. Red Star.
I would read the books because they came in special missions a lot. The October Guard, and I'm like, what? Storm of Vic? Man, that is Russian. And I would have trouble with Scrod. Dana, I would say Dana, Donna.
Thank you, Capitan. Appreciate that. A lot of kind words. All right,
there you go.
And we got Footloose, David. This is one you were talking about with Dusty V3 and Footloose.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the list that Chris McLeod, the Full Force Diagnostic 80, talked about in January with articulated points Patrick Stewart, but he mentioned that there was going to be a Dusty version 2 with his animal companion here, and I think this Footloose
Sandstorm, right?
Sandstorm, that's correct. This buck of
Garude,
the leg part would be the perfect bottom for this figure, I think. With a
well, it looks a little different here, but I don't know if I'm using the right pictures or not because we have another one too. So see how that one, but
that would be
different
the
versions, modern era. But I was thinking more of the upper torso. But
that's OG, Dusty, and the other one would be like more of a classic.
Well, see, the V-neck is the same. That's where I thought you were making the connection, but the legs do look different to me unless you just mean the shape of them. But as far as the pattern, see, look at the boots. You got the blouse boots, and then you got the boots tucked in. They're a little different.
Yeah, they are different, but I think they're going to reuse some of these molds regardless, and they're going to upgrade it, classify it up, do all that. So I think there's a possibility. It was just something that I thought could be something in the future because I know it's coming. It's just what parts did they use for it?
One thing I never noticed, David, was that this guy's sleeveless. That's freaking funny. So because
that's right. That's why he'd be.
completely.
Me and
clueless.
Charlock could make that Dusty in about 3 minutes.
I do want.
It'd be cool
I do
too.
want
It would be cool.
Sandstorm,
It's dope.
I do want Sandstorm though.
Yeah.
As long as they don't make him timber size, they got to make him a little bit smaller.
It's got to be a coyote, not a freaking
Right.
wolf. Yeah.
Hasn't Tony made this comment several times? They want to like put a Schleich out of business, and the fact that they've come up with already warthogs, bears, wolves, gators, now this, and probably a stingray and a few other things. Yeah, I think they actually mean that. They don't Schleich out of business.
Yeah, making. Yep, exactly.
Dennis Quaid, Dusty. I like that. I like Dennis Quaid. Young Dennis Quaid for Dusty.
Dennis Quaid was freaking General Hawk. Yeah.
Right. They made him ginger and took away his sleeves. He's gonna burn.
He's gonna burn in that heat. He don't care.
That's awesome. And then here's some more looks at the Dusty and Sandstorm with the packaging and
More tactical on the left. Yeah.
Yeah. The
club. He's got an MP9 or
See, now look at that FSS version. Now that looks a lot more like that Footloose, doesn't it? The FSS
MP7. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the legs for sure.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Charlock, it looks like that Coyote Sandstorm is the same size as Timber though on the left.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, he's huge.
Don't just
so
repaint
big.
Timber again.
Yeah, that's a wolf. That's not a coyote.
That's a 3 3/4, 4 inch. It'll be different.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll use law instead.
You mean order?
Order, whichever one the dog's name is. Use that as the buck instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Order's huge though. Order's a huge freaking German Shepherd.
I haven't gotten mine yet, so I'm not sure how big he is.
What?
Actually.
Oh, he's a big boy. He's a big German Shepherd. This coyote needs to be small. Yeah.
Yep, agreed. All right, last one, and we got the rawhide. So now that
rawhides,
yes, because if you missed it,
Awesome. Having a great time at Comic Con. Thank you all very much. I am so thrilled to be the new Big Lob. Everyone have
we had Big Lob announced at Comic Con. Had to plug in. Shout out to Black Genghis, man. He killed it at Comic Con and.
Genghis.
Couldn't happen to a better fella.
Absolutely.
I wish him all the best. Yeah, I think that was perfect.
Well said. But look, we got the rawhides now. You know, Law and Order's hitting our porches and patios and soon to be shelves. We got Jinx last year. We got multiple versions of Tunnel Rat. We got Chuckles. And you're looking at, well, we don't have the rawhide Chuck. And of course, we got Retro Beachhead, which hit earlier too. But we don't have a rawhide Chuckles, David, right? This was one of your suggestions. Let me get this damn freaking logo out of the way. But tell me what you see on the screen, and I mean it's just
this is a basic reprint.
Repaint.
It's a basic almost 1-for-1 repaint, but I would do it as a vintage carded figure because they did that with Dr. Mindbender, where they did that PulseCon Dr. Mindbender. Nobody can get it. There are still people waiting on that, I think, in their back orders somewhere. And this is another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So there's a way to get another Chuckles in the line, do it retro, get the rawhide, hit 3 different points in this, and cover your bases.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Tony, go ahead, continue.
The tooling is there. Just do a repaint with the Sunbow colors for Chuckles, and you're golden. You're good.
Yeah, and you don't have to make it, because some people probably skipped on the Comic-Con stuff because it's exclusive or it's. I don't think it was hard to get, but it costs more because of all the extras and the packaging. So this is a way to get them out there for $25.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Charlock, would you go retro card?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't even think of that until Dave mentioned it, but that makes total sense.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for the slides. We got a couple minutes left. Charlock, I'll stick with you. Is there any? And there's Chuckles right there. There's your custom, right? Is that a custom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, different.
I didn't get the STC one, but so I made my own Chuckles.
Yeah. See, You don't even, that one's better than the, I hate to sorry, Hasbro. You guys are great. We're doing a whole show on you, but this is better. Very dope. Very dope. All right. So look, Charlock, was there one, could you think of a use of tooling or future proofing that we didn't mention today that you'd like to see? Like something that obvious to you that like, hey, we need this or whatever. Anything?
It's funny because every time I start working on something, they announce it. The last 3 projects I started, they announced that it was coming out. Like the Armored Cobra Commander was one. Yeah, you know, I'd like to see. There's still so many characters that I'd like to see. I mean, Billy Kessler is a big one. They've already got everything they need for whichever version, you know, whichever art you like of him. They could do Arashikage Ninja, or they could do the Commando. All they need is a head sculpt, right?
Yep. I made one for
Punk. Wants to know if that's Steve, Tony.
Oh no, this is oh my gosh. This is head sculpt from Casting Cave. I can't remember. But yeah, that's I saw that on Casting Cave's website, and I think it was Casting Cave, don't quote me, but it was dope. I like how he had his hair flowing and stuff. It might be from my guy Brandon Aubert on Facebook, but I'm not sure. It was a long time ago I made this guy. I made him when Chuckles came out because I wasn't at STC to get him and the whole thing and all that. So I just made him. Water slide decals for the flowers.
Very cool.
That was a bitch.
Well, David, you made the list. You made the list, Chris Jericho. But no, you made the list for tonight, and there was a lot of picks, but a lot of them were Night Force this, Night Force, you know, Tiger Force. It was like obvious ones. Is there one that isn't like just a sub team tooling that we may have forgot on the list or something?
Yeah, I think so, and it makes sense because of the Snow CAT funding and the overwhelming like demand for more Arctic characters, which I was a little put back by the fact that so many people want more Arctic characters. But I think the Hawk version 2 with the bomber jacket and that buck, I think would be a really good buck for Stalker version 2. And then I really think you could do that buck with Stalker. Just swap out the head, paint it all white or whatever it is, and maybe do a little bit of Big Ben lower legs, maybe, because he had those weird things on his bottom parts of his leg that maybe Big Ben parts could work. But I think there's parts there to do Stalker version 2. And it would be a vehicle and figure because the kayak would be friggin' this big now. And
yeah.
I think there's a demand for that stuff. And there's another Stalker. We haven't had a Stalker for a while. So
right.
I don't know.
Well, we had a retro one last year, but other than that, there was a massive gap between classified and retro. It took a while, and he's one of the prime guys. So yeah, I think we could use another Stalker, just not outside our window. Guys, that's going to do it for this section. And we got one more, but Charlock, where can we find you? It's at Charlock Prime, right?
Yep, on Instagram. That's about the only place right now, but I'm not real active right now because we got moving stuff going on. But, you know, once things settle down, I'll start posting more stuff and projects that I'm working on.
Got it. Oh, yeah. And David, you got a big fan. I think your #1 fan, Zen Pie Mental. He says David Allen is taking over. A David Allen kind of mood. Hey man, you're the one who came up with this subject that we're talking about, which elevated this entire show. I'm so thrilled that we got to do a show together finally, and that it was today on Friday. David, thanks again, and thanks for all you do for fucking Joe Fest, man. You rock.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a lot of work. People don't understand the amount of effort that Ed, his wife, their daughters, and the team the Joe Fest team puts in to make that as seamless as it can be. There are going to be hiccups, that's just life. And we try to make sure we make those seamless transitions every year. Hopefully the folks, Tony was there this year. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope it was a better experience this year than it was last year. And next year should be even better than this year.
Yeah.
And Tony said it was a better year because I wasn't there, but next year will be a better year because I'm there. Get it damn straight. Dave, thanks so much. Charlock, one of my favorite people to hang out with at Joe Fest. Let's do it again, buddy. Hopefully I'll see you next year. And thanks again for doing the Toy Con Mood. Let's do this again.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Peace. All right, Tony. Got one more section, man. How you feeling? You good?
Good, bro. Hell yeah. We got some DWH coming in.
We got some brilliant minds on the show right now, but you know what? It's the final. No, it's not the final countdown anymore. This was Wednesday, Sly. But shout out to Paternia. This shit's funny as hell. I love this.
Yeah,
so good. So good.
Good looking freaking frostbite.
Cool. All right, let's bring on our guests. We've had this guy on the show before a couple times, I think, and he's also another good buddy of ours that we hang out with in Joe Fest. Definitely one of the best minds in the community. And yeah, I mean, this guy, he gets it all. So he's got a lot to talk about. David Warren Hernandez, what up, man?
Drinking buddy right here. What bro?
I thought there was gonna be some intro music.
That's on the jerk.
I gotta work on the music part of the show and my videos for some reason. I'm such a music guy. I forget to do stuff like that. But look, you have the best tag underneath. Running out of space due to 112 vehicle.
Dude, look.
Yeah, let's get a bigger
Look at that up there. Shit.
I know. I was gonna say, is tonight Latin hour with me and Tony on? Do I
Yeah,
need to do
baby.
Spanish for our Spanish audience? Bienvenidos a un tipo de estado de ánimo de juguetes. Atácalos.
Órale, pues, gracias.
Muy bueno, guys. I love it.
I said knocking on our door, man. Sorry.
All right, we're gonna make this half Latin, half Caucasian. We're bringing in Paul. There's another guy who has tons of freaking HasLabs behind him. And Paul, before anything, I have to say that was a hell of a review, HellaGeek of a review of the Cobra Rattler, dude. I don't know if that was your debut or not, but man, you're aces. Get it? But you're aces when it comes to this shit. That was you. No wonder it took you a little longer than you wanted to, because that was one of the best reviews I've ever. And Dave Speck, Toy Optics, killed it, crushed it. His review and your review is right there. Both of you guys did awesome. Congrats on the review, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Paul.
Dude, thank you for having me. Been a fan for a long time watching the show, so it's awesome to be here. And thanks for enjoying the review. Yeah, I love Joe, and I put a lot of heart and soul into that review. So yeah, I'm glad that people are appreciating it. It was my big debut for the channel. I just started it like a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And the only advice I'll give you as someone who does YouTube, because I don't do it enough, is be more consistent. You get this big, amazing review. Don't wait 6 months like Dave Speck and do another one.
Okay. Good to know.
Shout out to Toy Optics. I'm just giving him shit. And actually,
Speck's awesome.
Yeah, and Baldy is probably the greatest reviewer in the history of freaking GI Joe, besides Hood and Cobra Commander and Forum BX. But you wouldn't know it because he does like 2 reviews a year. So yeah, that's the thing. Be more consistent. These guys are amazing, but yeah, I got to be more consistent as well. It happens. We got lives, man. Shit's tough. It's out there.
You know what? Specs Dragonfly review is actually how I found his channel 2 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah. No. Yep. I think that's his thing though. He just reviews every HasLab. That's it. It's like every year. A HasLab. All right. Look. Speaking of HasLabs, that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because it fucking funded. Were you worried about it, Dave? Or DWH? Were you worried that this was not going to fully fund?
No, I knew that it was going to come in at the last day, as all the other ones have. Although I wasn't expecting it to be kind of at the Sky Striker level as far as the number of backers. I thought we would get a little bit more than that. I don't know what the final numbers were. It's like 15.7 something, or if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
we got them. We'll show them, and we'll get into the numbers in a bit. But
yeah,
they did. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a miracle in a way. But they did. You know, they added international numbers, and of course, they added numbers from, you know, smaller retailers that want to get some of these and sell them to their customers, right?
yeah, it's kind of neat because you saw the surge once the last tier unlocked. You started seeing more and more people like trying to scramble to sign up for it. So yeah, typical HasLab. You know, everybody scrambling at the last minute.
Well, you got a lot of HasLabs behind you. How many? You know, Chaz the Guru. Shout out to my guy right there. He wants to know how many you got, and you're going to be selling next year for a reasonable cost.
I got to take care of all those guys with those sons, you know.
Right.
No, as far as what I backed, I usually just back the one. The Hiss I backed two, but since then, it's space, man. You know, this thing is huge. I can't imagine trying to put two on a shelf. So I just went with the one. That's good enough for me. And you know, that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hide his camera. It's gonna scare away everybody. Yeah, look, there's more memes here. Paul, how many did you get? And did you have any hesitation? And did you have any doubt in your mind that this was gonna fully fund?
When they first announced it, I was like, it's a GIJoe HasLab. We're getting all the tiers. Midway through, of course, I started doubting it. I thought we would at least get to the bivouac, but I started doubting that you know, Lady J was going to have some sausages from Flint. So that was a concern. That was a concern. But hey, everybody's happy. I called it Happy Bay for J Day because that was the big success, I thought, because I didn't think we'd reach him, and we did. So it's Happy Bay for J Day when it funded.
I got to backtrack this comment. I subbed to Baldy's channel, but he never put up anything.
He never makes a fucking video.
Baldy used to kill it too. Like I remember his vamp, like outdoors video, the giant Sky Striker video. Like,
yeah.
Baldy,
like I said, he's like a I think that's the thing. He reached legend status and he retired like in 1 year. Like he was like better than Jordan and LeBron combined in 1 year, and he's like, I'm too good for this shit. I'm done. So, but yeah, more funny memes from Chaz on the way. You weren't wrong. Nobody wants a snow cat. Well, 16,000 people wanted it, and then HasLab backers when a nuclear winter brings snow to the entire world. Last night, Tony, you guys were talking about that in the Circle of Jerks. Like, I love some of Punk's comments were funny. But like, well, I don't live in the desert, so I'm not going to buy a Dusty figure or something like that. So, but yeah, it did get ridiculous. Like, I live in Hawaii, so I'm not buying a snow cat. Like, just weird stuff going on. You have an opinion about any of that, Tony? And like, just natural elements making people's buying decisions.
I mean, if they're like big time photographers, maybe, but still, it just challenged you to do something with them, you know, photography wise. But that never. I mean, I get it. I mean, I didn't back it, but it wasn't because I don't have any snow here in Phoenix. You know, my money went elsewhere. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. You know, I just took some money and got Ramen's Hunter tank. I said that thing looks awesome. I want that. You know what I mean? So I want that in here. I already made a custom Frostbite. Like I made a custom crankcase, and I like them better. So yeah, man. I mean, I don't think the elements should mess with. I mean, Snow Cat it's badass, dude. It's huge. It's pretty cool, but yeah, I already had my money elsewhere.
Well, Paul, you're probably not going to back the Defiant because you've never been to space, so I don't think that's a possibility for you. Look, here's the numbers.
We all know when the line goes to space, it dies. So we don't want to go to space.
The line is dead already. Haven't they told you that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's dead. According to
the line is dead. So here it is. It's so dead that 16,000 people backed it out of 8,000, reached all the tiers. Now it didn't hit Rattler numbers. So the Rattler was 26 and change. And so there are going to be 10,000 less of these floating around, which means the value of this could be much higher. Paul, did you back? I see you bought a few Rattlers. What do you think about the Snow Cat? Did you go with more than one?
I love the Snow CAT, but here's a situation. I've been a fan and championing it the whole time, but I only got one, but it's not even for me. I had a homie who needed a little help right now. So I said, I'll buy it for you, and you pay me back, when the credit card statement comes in. And so, yeah. But for me, I mean, I am all in on Cobra. I cherry pick everything, Joe. And yeah, this I think is beautiful. I mean, I dig it. For my purposes, I just didn't need it, for my collection. But I know we're going to get in. Yeah.
I cherry pick everything.
Tell you what. Because we had this discussion when the Rattler came out, and I was like, man, you live close. You got the Rattler. And then Spec came in and let me borrow the figures. I'll tell you what, if I get the Snow CAT at a reasonable time, I'll let you borrow it to review, because your review is so good. Because I am not going to review the Snow CAT. I didn't review the Rattler. I'm going to review the figures. I'll do the figures. I did the Cobra Rattler figures. I don't want to review that Snow CAT. I'll do something else with it. You can review it if you'd like.
Dude, that is a generous offer, and I'll take you up on that next year.
There you go.
By the way, my offer still stands. Have you gotten your Rattler yet? Oh, yeah, it's in the background. That's right. And I saw your photo, because I remember for a while there, I was like saying you can have one of mine until yours comes in, but you're good to go. I'm looking forward to your review.
Exactly, man. We met at Comic-Con. Good dudes, help out the community. So I appreciate that. And look, I help out Shark Eyes Toy News, but he lives in Australia. I got the joke last night. I get it. Funny stuff. All right. Him and I were just having a chat. So look, fully funded, Tony's Figs. You didn't back it. Paul didn't back it. Well, he backed it for his friend, but fully funded in one day. Tony, was there any piece of this thing that you were like, I wish I could buy separately? I didn't want to back the whole thing, but is there a figure, the bivouac? Was there anything?
Well, I mean, not really, but that head sculpt on Lady J, man, you could take that off and put her on her regular figure, and that's straight up Lady J. That's the best head sculpt I've ever seen for Lady J. Either the one in the beanie and comms, or the one from the Sunbow with her hairstyle like that. That's the best I've ever seen. And I just got that retro carded Flint in. This one's got the jacket and everything. He's all wintered up. That's cool. But no, I was cool with passing on this. You know what I mean? So I don't. If Mark comes out with the bivouac, that thing's sold out. We'll see.
Oh, that's true, because he had his own as well.
He had his bivouac a long time ago, but it was more like jungle bivouac instead of like Arctic, so whatever.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do you want to buy the bivouac separately? They're not going to just make this for no reason. Now it got back, so now they really are going to. They're not just tooling a pre-pro; they're going to tool it all the way. We're going to get more of these bivouacs, right? Are you interested in buying one for your dioramas behind you, or your Joe sets, or what?
I might, but I don't know, man. I don't know with the way I've seen your review of the Awe Striker, some more reviews, and that thing's a piece of shit. I don't like it at all.
Especially if you have a Jungle Hound.
Villainizing me. What was that, Dave?
And that right, exactly. I have the Jungle Hound, so I'm fine.
But that Jungle Hound was so good that whatever came out after it, unfortunately, the Hasbro Awe Striker was just not the same.
It wasn't, man. Right. I mean, you're putting stuff in, and stuff's popping out. I looked at Oakhurst Studios and yours review, and I'm like, and then I saw it at Mark's because he's got it, and I'm like, this thing is nasty. Things pop off, they don't stay on, and it's like, do I want to deal with that? Can I fix it? Yes, but I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? So it's like, like I said, I got my own crankcase.
I want to play devil's advocate to this real quick to say, just this morning I watched D Amazing's review of the Awe Striker, and he had trouble getting his roll cage out. It was crazy.
Oh, really?
Which was the exact opposite of you, Travis. I know. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was like secure in there, crazy, and I was like, wow.
I've got to watch that. I've got to watch
50-50.
Yeah, baby, look at that.
Oh,
I've got mine right here. and
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to cut this, man. And it's whatever you can switch out the weapons on the top. I mean, Gridiron's killing it, man. And
at
for
that.
those of you that don't believe in 3D printed vehicles, this one
Look
made
at
a
that.
believer out of me. Maybe buy the flying switches up there.
That's right, baby. Mine's
The
up there.
Swamp Hound is fucking crazy. I
Oh
still
yeah,
love that.
your dreadnought one.
amazing.
Yeah,
Mark made it, and I highly, if you're gonna buy one, you're a Dreadnought guy, but that Jungle Hound too. If you're not happy with the Off Striker, pay the extra and go that way for sure. But don't villainize me for that review. That said, it's funny because Oakhurst, like you mentioned, he reviewed it at Comic-Con and had the same problems, and then D Amazing having opposite problems. So it's interesting. Hopefully we didn't get it. I had no problems with my Rattler. I heard the QC issues. I spent last night a few hours putting it together, changing the flight pattern. And that's also why I love your review, Paul, because you did, not only did you review the toy, you did an instructional video part of it too. Similar to Alan the Collector with Gridiron. It was kind of very similar reviews, like both like super upper echelon style review, the sound and good clean editing. But also I was having a problem with the freaking what do you call it when you fold the I knew it like last
Folding
night, you know.
the triggers to fold them up. Yeah.
VTOL. That's right. VTOL.
Yeah.
VTOL. So
VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing.
When you VTOL the wings, you did a perfect job showing us how that went and stuff. So I wanted to shout that out too.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I'll add on. I'll add on to Paul as well. Like when I watched your video, I learned how to flip the wings up. You know, the little triggers that are underneath. If not, you know, I was like yanking on it. You know, I probably would have broken it if I wouldn't have watched your video.
Yeah,
God dang, I gotta watch Paul's video too.
No, you do.
Yes,
It's highly recommended. Yeah, it's highly recommended. It's like short too, like for a whole like hat. Like it's so concise. Again, as another fellow content creator, I take pride in editing and making it short and concise. And you fucking crushed it. So I had to give love. Dave,
man.
Bivouac, Flint, you thrilled? You excited?
You know,
talk about the unlocks.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm excited about the Bivouac. You know, I had the original one when I was a kid. If anything, I hope it unlocks more of these little play sets. You know, the vehicles are great, but man, they take up so much room. And you know, if they do like the Bivouac, they do like a Checkpoint Alpha, they do those types of things. Those are perfect for your dioramas or for displaying on your shelves, like I have behind me. They do more of that. If that's like the first version that they do, then all the more power to Hasbro to do that. And I'm ecstatic we got Flint. I mean, you have Lady J, you gotta have Flint to go with it, and we both have him in their Arctic gear, and we're just like one step closer to that. What is it? The GIJoe the movie in that opening scene, where when they're all wearing their winter gear. You know, we'd love to have more Joes like that. So hopefully we'll see what Hasbro has in store for us in the next year as far as Arctic figures. I'm excited. We're getting Iceberg. Iceberg's from my hometown of Brownsville, Texas, which I love. I'm ecstatic that we're going to get him.
Yes, we need Iceberg. He's awesome.
That's a nice shout. Yeah, we were talking about Cutter earlier, so obviously Woody and I both from New England. We're had fun with that one. All right, so moving on from the unlocks, we got everything that happened at 16. Look, we don't have to go. This was originally Wednesday show, and these images have been shown to death on every fucking live stream in America right now. So we don't need to go that crazy. We can kind of look over this and maybe quickly comment and fly through it. Paul, I'll go to you, man. I know you said you're not backing the cat, or you didn't, you're backing it for a buddy, but what do you think of the photography? But more importantly, did they wait just too long to show this?
Ooh, yeah. Compared to recent ones, it felt like it wasn't getting the same amount of love that previous HasLabs did. But man, they sure came through at the end. I thought the photography was awesome. Like, I mean, Shooting the Galaxy always kills it, but this got some love. I mean, and you know, again, I like to play devil's advocate a lot. Let's give them a little bit of grace as well, because this is further along the process than any other HasLab has been. So maybe that had something to do with like, it's a rush job. Here's the model. And then there was a little delay because of that process and getting it to the photograph stage. I don't know. But yeah, I love all the updates they made to it. It's a beautiful piece. Don't get me wrong. I had nothing to say about it. I was behind it 100% all the way, just didn't need it for my collection. I mean, I got a Dragonfly and you know, I'm holding out for some other Joe vehicles down the line, but I just didn't need a Snow Cat. I'm gonna be all over some Arctic Cobra though.
Yeah.
Mhm. For sure. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about future vehicles that we want to see, and some of those characters are involved with those vehicles.
Yeah.
Romo, you didn't back this either, but what do you think of the photography? And do you think, I mean, let's be fair, this stuff came out like pretty close to the end of the campaign, right?
Yeah, the photography is always top notch with Shooting the Galaxy kicking ass on all these photos, man. He makes you buy it just with his photos, man. It looks really cool. I like how he's got, you know, Frostbite with the winch. And one of the nicest features on this Snow Cat is that on the old one, the snow pedos were always visible. This, you could put them away. You know, you put them away in the crate right there on the left, and you fold them down. That's pretty cool. And then you can turn this thing into like a mini APC with taking the stuff out of the back and putting troops in there. That's dope, man. It's cool. I'm you know,
one of the things
myself into regretting it.
One of the things I'll call out, did you notice like a lot of these photos are very adventure people style? Like there's no fighting, there's no battle, there's no snow serpents, there's no explosions in the background.
Exactly.
It's just kind of like a normal day out in the forest somewhere. I thought that was interesting. Very different take than what we would normally see.
They got to break out the kitchenette and the fishies and the sausages.
right.
Yeah.
I think Pasta Pierogi brings up a great point. Thanks for joining us tonight too. I feel like for marketing, all the foolish layoffs caught up with Hasbro. Yeah, there were some holes in communication, and even Full Force admitted that those are some things that we see. And then the communication this last week was like night and day. They did a live stream on IG. We got all the photos, but it's like they had how long? How long has this campaign been going on for? Almost 2 months, a month and a half,
something like that. Yeah,
like since GIJoe June, right?
GIJoe
Like the
June,
end of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking at almost like 6 to 8 weeks, and then in the last week we get the push for it. And we criticize them because we only got Iceberg, as Dave mentioned. But Tony Colello, he posts that we're getting he's like, what do you guys want to see in the line? So we'll talk about that. But I just think the communication this week is like, why can't we do this all the time? And it may have been because the people that work with marketing, and of course, we're not talking about Emily or Ben BMAC. It's like some of the lower level people who are helping with social media or helping with this kind of communication probably got laid off or got just, they're not doing the same kind of job. They're doing someone else's job. So 45 days. Yeah. Thank you so much. So yeah, about 6 weeks.
Bye, Ash.
So that. Yeah.
Travis,
it's just kind of like
to piggyback.
Yep.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Well, I was going to say, to piggyback on what you just said, on that awesome live Q&A they did on Insta, they even had to pull somebody from the Transformers team over to work the camera behind them. So like, that's a good point.
Great point. Absolutely nailed it. Yep. All right. Moving on. We got the ski missiles, which are funny.
The ski pedos.
Ski pedos.
Right?
Yeah, I like those.
Snow pedos.
Snow pedo, ski pedo. A lot of pedo. I don't like pedo. But
yeah, no pedo.
No pedo. All right, moving on from that. I love the night scenes the best. That's why we used it for the thumbnail. David Warren, what do you think about what we're seeing with the ice vision here at night?
Dude, I love the light up features that have been in all the HasLabs. You know, I'm surprised they don't do this with other HasLabs. I know I'm in some of the Star Wars groups, and they're like lamenting, like the gunship doesn't have any light up features, and they're asking $450 for that thing. But yeah, I really think it accents the vehicle. It really pops for when you're doing for the figure photographers that are out there. And then like there's so many different modes that you can put it in. But I think the best part is they went with USB lighting now. It's no longer battery. So I think that's a huge shift and evolution, I think, for the HasLab line. And it just adds more value to the whole package.
Mm-hmm. And Paul, does this almost change your mind?
I mean, the FOMO is real, man. I'm starting to like regret it because there was a split second when I was ordering for my friend. I was like, I should just throw another one in the cart just to at least have the option. But I was like, nah, I don't really plan on displaying it, so no.
Yeah.
But I love the USB updates. I think God, it looks so good, and I do like that they're changing those little blue lights to match yellow as.
That's nice.
Well,
Yeah, it is nice.
It's a beautiful piece.
Here's a comment I want you to comment on because I opened the Hiss last night and then watched your review. Do you think the Rattler had disappointing lighting?
The Rattler?
Who are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I don't have it.
Okay. All right. So I have to agree to a certain degree. All right. The Hiss had so many options to cycle through. And I thought about touching that in my review, but it was a little like sideways. Right. So I just stayed forward. But yeah, the Hiss had so many options. You only have 3 options on the Rattler. I mean, it is beautiful. And so when you start complaining about it, it feels like nitpicking because everything's so stellar on it. But yeah, they only put 3 light settings. I would have liked to have had the multiple options like, maybe just the red without the damage flashing and stuff like that. Yeah, 3 settings from like it was like 9 or 10 on the Hiss. It's quite a jump.
And the Dragonfly lighting is so awesome with the green. I think they really with that.
Yeah, they gave you more options on the Dragonfly even too.
So this lighting, go ahead. Judd.
Yeah, I was gonna add on. I would have liked to have seen like actual aircraft lighting on the Rattler. Or in the thrusters, that would have been nice to have those light up in the back.
Yeah.
I think just the cockpit is nice, but it's not as bright. And then you got those 2 forward-facing lights, and that's pretty much the extent. And then the side panel that does the damage, but that's about it.
100% nailed it. Yeah, no landing lights. It's a damn jet, right? So that doesn't, especially for nighttime shots. But if you notice, they didn't do any nighttime shots with it. I don't think, did they? For the photography?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think Dragonfly did. It's kind of tied in a Night Force for some reason. They did that with Classified, and then the Hiss did, and then I think that was the only one. I could be wrong. Someone will let me know in the comments. Yeah, the USB-C. This is a great segue for that.
Yep.
Being able to keep it on, like in the background, you're doing a show, and now your vehicles can stay plugged in. Well, at least the Snow CAT cams. I think that was good to use that technology too.
It's the new nightlight.
Oh God, sorry.
I was gonna say it's the new nightlight. You can leave it on all night.
Exactly.
I think that's what Larry Punk with Toys does.
He probably
have to wipe like that. Look, 142 people watching tonight on a show that's a night that's not a show with a bunch of randos in the community.
Bunch of randos, bunch of boors.
I invited those randos, so thank y'all for the support. You guys should subscribe to these guys. They're awesome.
Yeah. This has been a great show. And if you're joining us late, man, we talked about sublines and sub teams. We got into the weeds with some of this G.I. Joe stuff. And then we had a great segment with tooling, breaking down future proofing. Like why are we getting this character? Where is it going to lead to? And now we're wrapping it up with some future stuff with the HasLabs and Arctic future. So I appreciate that. Like the show. If you're watching, that's it. So moving on, we see a little bit more. That's more lighting, isn't it? Rear brake lighting.
That's dope. Damn,
awesome.
Look at that.
I can hear the regret in Tony's voice.
And Tony, I know you guys last night in Circle of Jerks talked about, is this a dream project? Was a question from Zen. And everybody was pretty much saying, well, the Snow CAT isn't a dream vehicle, but they made it one. And I think that's what they did. Like some of their figures that are the C-list figures, heavy duty and crystal ball and so forth, and a Raptor, they end up great figures. I think they did that with this vehicle. It is more looking at the LED. And then,
I just thought of something right now, and surprised they haven't thought about this yet, is now that they're doing the USB charged lighting, could we get lighted blast effects?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, yes.
I wish they would have did that for the Dragonfly.
Right? That would add more pop.
Because they took the time to make the blast effect hook into the dog bone. We should have put a light. Oh my god, a light in there. That would have been insane.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's
Take
gonna
my
do that.
idea,
now.
Hasbro. You're welcome.
Yeah, some
Or somebody,
customizer's gonna do that.
right? Somebody on Etsy will do it.
For sure. Got to shout out
maybe
this
Ramen
guy.
will make an accessory pack.
What up, Chaz?
Yep, ramen with the accessory pack for Blast Effects would be great too. Blight up Blast Effects. Yo, Joe, host. We used about 4 of your memes at the beginning of the show, by the way. So,
Yeah, where were you, bitch?
Meme god. All right, I see questions for like future HasLabs. We're gonna get there. So I'll just save it. All right, so we talked about, was it you, David, or Tony, who talked about this being more like less of a battle and more of a comp?
Adventure people. That was David.
Yeah,
David. Yeah, so now these are the shots that showcase that.
That's cool as shit, dude. That's cool.
we could have gotten a frostbite with a flocked beard, man. That was a missed opportunity.
Goddamn flocking. And she's
Fiber
like, she's like, Flint, you do the weenies. I'll catch the fish.
That's good.
Typecasting.
There's another night shot. Full APC mode right there, man.
That is dope, dude. That's a nice screensaver right there.
That is one of the things that I wanted them to include, is to make like some sort of personnel carrier in the back of it. And they did exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Good for them. I still didn't get it.
Greg Harris says Toxic Toy Depot does light up blast effects for the Hiss and Dragonfly.
Oh
Toxic Toy
shit!
Oh, gotta
Okay,
look that
thank
up.
you, sir.
Toxic.
I've seen his.
Depot.
He's got some awesome stuff, especially for the Trouble Bubble. I've seen his shot before. He's awesome.
Nice. We'll look at that. And yeah, stay game. We'll get to that in a sec. Cool. All right, so there's some more looks, more serene looks, more storytelling, and they talked about that on the IG stream, right, with Lenny and Emily. Lenny was like, "Yeah, we're so many battles. You got the jet and the helicopter, and they're going to war. But let's." And it is a callback to the adventure team. I mean, it is part of GI Joe, the '60s Joe, so it made sense to go that way. And I think you got to do everything. You got to try everything once. You can't make the same stuff over and over again. That's going to add to the longevity of the line. Woody and I talked about that, and that's what keeps the line going, is when you don't just come out with the same shit all the time. And I think they did a great job, at least going in a different direction.
Dude,
I think the fact that the bivouac folds up into the seats, I think that was a nice touch. And somebody had called that out. It's like, man, if I can't pack everything up in that thing, then why have it? And then like literally a day or two later, they started showing the pictures. So yeah, that was a nice touch as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
like
appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Travis.
No, pop in.
No, I was just going to say, I was just echoing what Tony said before. I love that, I mean, the ski pedo thing is a little gimmicky, so it's nice to have the option to fold it up, and it looks badass hidden as well. But you can flap it down if you're old school like that.
I'll tell you one thing, those crates that have the ski pedos, they're going to look nice hanging off the Dragonfly. Dragonfly can be swooping in, dropping off equipment. So I like that they fold up like that. That those are nice diorama elements that can be added.
Definitely.
Perfect. All right, and then they were talking about those pedos. There they are in action.
Those damn pedos.
Those pedos.
Ski pedo, snow pedos.
Yeah, snow pedos.
They should have put torpedo like hanging out in the back just as an.
But did they need to put that much cocaine on the damn windshield? Goddamn.
I know they blew some money on this shoot, didn't they? Damn, that's they.
That's Scarface's diorama.
We need to have Travis sitting out in a van with his arm hanging out.
Yeah.
From Narcos. Yeah.
That's a deep cut for Travis fans.
Yeah.
That's
For
a good
Travis
shot. That's a
fans.
dope shot right there.
Yeah, this is a similar look to my Narco shot right here, just hanging out.
Yeah.
With it. Just need a cigarette and some sunnies.
I thought that was the one with Sofia Vergara in it.
It was. Yeah.
Okay.
I said Narcos. I meant Griselda. Sorry.
Griselda. Yeah.
You should know that. I'm a hip hop fan. Side. All right, cool. And then there's some action here.
They're like, we got to wait till our chauffeur comes back from snowboarding, Flint.
Frostbite, shredding some pow.
Yep. He's getting that
Dope.
fresh powder.
You know what? You know how you're talking about like it's a fairly tame action adventure style shoot. Well, there's obviously some threat out of frame here, but I like how the two guys are like, Lady J, you go check it out.
I'm gonna go snowboard, and Flint's making a mixtape in there.
Right? Yeah. You go on your own, Jay. You got this.
Flint's in
He's
there
like,
watching the tour kind of mood on the panels.
He's like, yeah, this isn't the UK. I can't drive in the seat. And then this is the question we talked about earlier with Tony Colello when he posted it and talked about all the ones they have so far and even put the name reveal there. But notice his iceberg is spelled correctly. Remember the Comic-Con one had the U?
Unless they lost the rights to the name or something and they have to change it or something. Who knows?
Well, this is going to be
probably some intern that misspelled it.
Probably giving it all the hype hysteria.
It's some intern that just got laid off. You put the U in that
terrible.
name.
That's terrible. Damn, I got off the live stream, drove home, and y'all are still going. Yeah, man, this is actually going to be one of our
Darren, you know us.
We're going to be one of our. We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. We don't have too much left. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so here are the comments. Right for next year, I don't want to go too deep in the weeds on HasLab of the future because that could be a whole episode. But Moray switching back to Cobra, being water. I know Punk says it's never going to happen, right? Didn't he say that last night, or it's not going to happen for some reason?
Something
What was
like that? The boats. It's something about making the toys. They have to be able to float or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've heard so many theories. Good.
Well, he also said last night that he doesn't think it's a viable option because aside from the well, the Joes don't have anything to really go against it, to pair against it in the water. And I'm like, well, then give us the moray and then just let people have the well. They want it. Like, that's fine.
$500.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. They had a 3D printed whale at Assembly Required last year, and that thing was huge, man. I mean, it's
so big.
Yeah, it's like it's not gonna fit on any shelf. You're gonna have to have like a coffee table for it. But people want it, but we're gonna be stuck trying to figure out where we're gonna put it.
Yep.
This is why I want it. I need some lobster. Being from New England, I need some deep fit, some fried fish. Here we go. All right. What obvious AB Arctic? What is AB, Joe?
Arctic. I don't know.
Arctic blast. All right. I don't know. What is that? Is that what this is? What is AB, guys? Help me out.
I don't know. What is that, nerd? Spell it out for me.
A or B.
Not the sharpest knife in the door, but there's more than one in there.
All right, maybe you'll in the chat. A or B tier? Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, A, B.
Well, you named them on that little on that thing you just put up that little slide. They were all up top left.
Well, those are ones that we got. Those are ones that are official. Does he mean with Arctic?
Yeah. Oh, well, A and B tier.
Oh, he says right here, I mean a list, B list.
I mean A list, B list.
Well, that could be like a whole episode.
I want a Quinn. I want a Quinn.
You want Quinn? Okay, for Arctic, who do you want? We'll do a rapid fire round and then we'll move on because we got.
I want Quinn and Arctic Snake Eyes.
Perfect, David.
Oh man, those are I want a Snow Bunny Scarlet from the Master Device episode.
Wait, you mean this?
Yeah,
baby.
That's the one.
No, he wants the Scarlet looking like that chick from Spies Like Us.
That's right. Vanessa Angel.
Vanessa Angel. Oh my God.
I'll go to Paul's after this because this is the one you chose, David. Yeah. You wanted the Polar Battle Bear with Snow Bunny Scarlet. This was your choice because we all picked one Arctic vehicle to supplement the Snow Cat. And so is there a reason beyond it just being a Sunbow or anything?
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Polar Battle Bear yet.
Yes.
It's up there. It's an iconic vehicle. It was the first snow vehicle that we got in the original Real American Hero line. So yeah, why not put that out and put a Snow Bunny Scarlet with it? And I know people
Yeah,
will
you
buy
could have-
multiples
it
of
could be-
this.
It could be on the shelves like the freaking Stinger is right now. I mean, this is straight to retail. It's not that big.
Yeah, could easily be a main line. Would you
Could easily.
rather, Paul, go to you. Would you rather have another version of Snow Job or the Scarlet?
Ooh, Scarlet. Yeah.
Because this is the question we got from
If,
Martin.
if you're saying if I have to choose between,
Yeah, for the Battle Bear, for it to come with a figure, because we see Snow Job driving it, but we already got a Snow Job. But then Martin asked, "Do you think we'll ever re-release or reissue it?" Because I think it sold out pretty quick. It's hard to find, so it almost kind of makes sense to come with a V2 Snow Job. Or would you just make that separate, or would you throw that in with a Bear over Scarlet?
I'm going Scarlet, but also he can just have a retro card release down
Yes,
the line. I think
that's exactly what I was
Nailed
going to
it.
say.
so.
Paul.
Yeah, do it that
Yeah.
way.
Let's do a retro version.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
all right, great.
I think there was like a lot of complaints about the accessories with that classified Snow Job being brown, so you could just do everything white and black.
Yep.
Beautiful answer. Want to continue on the Battle Bear, Dave, since this is the one you picked?
Yeah, funny story that the GI Joe Collectors Club back in the day, they released a version of the Polar Battle Bear as part of Battle Force 2000. It was silver with green and blue. So, but yeah, they could do different variations of it. They could do this one. I know the one in the cartoon kind of had red elements on it, like that back part that covers the engine was red. So yeah, I mean, it could come in at kind of like what the Ferret price point or Trouble Bubble. It's not that big of a vehicle. So yeah, I'm shocked that they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I feel like it was so heavily featured in the Sunbow series, especially. So
Big time.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
That's easy.
and-
It'd sell out. It'd be gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money right there.
Shouting out Gridiron, they did that brilliant version where it was the two drones that combined and made basically a Polar Battle Bear.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Good call. Great. Lots of great suggestions in the chat too. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we already got an Arctic Scarlet somewhere. It's right here. Remember this?
No.
Is this from Operation Blackout?
It is.
Oh, the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, people put Hasbro in the corner and all this. I think this is
Boots with the fur. All right.
Yeah.
And the saber tooth.
And you got Zabu. How did Zabu get in here with a gun on him and everything?
Right? It's crossover.
Wheat chocolate crossover. Sorry.
You'd think they share more parts, but I don't think they do. I think it's a whole separate department. I haven't seen any, because a lot of times you go, well, this is in Marvel Legends, and they can just, it's never 1-to-1 whenever there's pieces that are similar. So you think Zabu could just easily go over here. But this game is very niche at this point. I know David Allen was like, we should get that sci-fi. I'm like, who knows about Operation Blackout besides 100 nerds watching this freaking show? Whatever. Like, the general public does not know about that game. It was not a very successful game. Let's be honest.
Well, all
I'd
the
be in
earlier
on that,
figures
though.
were designed off that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All the leg armor and all that bullshit. Yeah.
But I want that bat from that game. I want that Storm Shadow with all the tats.
Yeah.
I think we need a subline for it. Just
That was crazy.
Remember the original Yakuza Storm Shadow was on the GI Joe website when the QR code used to work, and now it's getting like a running joke or whatever at this point. But you go there and
Don't
you
tell
saw
Bobby
the
B.
Yakuza. Yeah, he always does it in every thing. But the GI Joe website had, and then we saw in early promotional art, the original poster for GI Joe Classified had all those sci-fi like Roadblock and so with the big knee pads and all that. And then that Storm Shadow was on it, I think, or at least in the second poster.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. Blitz says
Transformers. I was gonna say Transformers has the Gamerverse and Marvel as well. Subline, why not have one for Joe?
yes.
I like that. But they got to make good games first. I mean, I did buy that Nintendo Switch one. I don't. What is it called? Cobra 5. Right.
Wrath of Cobra.
Wrath
I
of
think it's
Cobra.
Wrath of Cobra.
Wrath of Cobra.
It's hard as shit. I put it on easy and I can't like go that far.
It's so hard.
Arctic Hiss would most likely be a retail release, right? That's the way it came across to me.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Paul, this was your choice because you picked what I picked. So we delegated this, but it's good timing because Emily actually talked about this on the IG stream. Talk about what she said and then tell me about what you see on the screen.
Yeah, well, so someone in that chat asked a question about future Arctic vehicles, and they said, well, we can't confirm, but if you go back and watch the launch of the Snow CAT HasLab, Cobra Commander drops a tease, and I picked up on that right away when I watched it in San Diego. I was like, hell yes, because I'm on board for this. I got a lot to say about this. And a cool little thing to show you with this hiss. So first of all, the driver, easy peasy. It's basically a Snow Serpent and a Hiss driver kit bash repaint.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect.
we got that. Obviously the mold, the rockets. Hey, the rockets, of course, are from a Stinger. And yeah, I'm going to jump right to this real quick because I want to show you.
Yeah.
I just lost my cannons, but okay.
Damn it,
all right.
Paul.
So this rail, I know this rail on the back of the
yes.
If you unscrew it and take it out, guess what? Yeah, the peg that fits that. Talk about future proofing.
Oh shit!
Nice.
So all
didn't
they
know
have
they
to
could do
do
that.
is they remove that rail. They paint this bad boy white. They put a different peg in there. We're good to go. But I still want the cannons on the front too because that looks a little bare to me.
Right.
Agreed.
You know,
yeah,
you know, Paul. I like the. Have you seen the rail cannons that's on the ramen tank? I would love to see something like that on there as well, like swappable.
Yes.
On the side?
Those like awesome kind of vertical slotted.
Yeah,
things.
like those weird. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something different.
Man, ramen's killing it.
Ramen's killing it.
Arctic
I
Hiss
just
and
got
Stinger.
that Hunter tank ordered.
The other
Arctic.
thing about if they give us a white Hiss tank, that's going to be amazing for customizers. What an easy repaint, right? And I would buy extras to have for my Arctic display as well as to paint a few more black and build up that, Armada. Yes, beautiful. Is that a Baldy special?
I don't know.
Somebody else.
I don't know where this is from.
They got all those bivouacs on the side of them.
Dave, where'd you find this photo?
Yeah, I just did like a search for GIJoe Arctic Hiss tank, and of course I got the box pictures and some of the Hasbro promo images, and then I started getting a lot of the diorama shots.
That's nasty.
That
Oh,
tank
yes. Yes.
That is
that was a New
nasty
Jersey
right
Comic Con exclusive in 2014.
Wow.
They only like give away or sell like 10 of those, but they're all completely customized. But I mean, can you imagine an Arctic Hiss tank with those Arctic bats that we have? We can recreate that scene very easily.
We have a superstar in the chat, so I gotta say hi. Mega J,
Mega
what up, man?
Mega J.
What's up,
Repaint,
Mega J?
Retail or we riot? Yeah, I'm not wrong. I wouldn't mind if it's a Pulse exclusive because it is a bigger vehicle,
Yeah.
but yeah, it shouldn't be Target, Walmart, Amazon for
We
sure.
got Gun Bunny in there too.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, another
Fan design.
superstar. I was just
Right?
thinking of him. When you
I was
mentioned that.
too when I said that.
He would, dude. He would. Fucking Josh.
Gun Buddy would have like 10 different variations of Arctic tank with different layers of camo.
You'd have a green one with some some woodland camo on it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we need another run of Arctic bats, maybe like a 2-pack or something like that for sure. Look at this thing. Speaking of,
Sick.
That is
Yeah,
crazy, man.
I'm down for that camo.
Yeah, that is insane. That camo pattern rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could save on cost by just giving us just the glass canopy. We don't need the one with the flip up doors and just cost savings like that. It doesn't have to have the electronics. Definitely, I like the cargo holders that the modern version had. So very similar to like the flanks from Gridiron. It has the tarp, it has the cargo holders for backpacks and all that.
Yeah.
Put all that on there, man, just so that we can customize the look of it.
Are these custom or is these 25th anniversary or?
Yeah, they were modern era when they came out, and then they were like a super limited custom run
Yeah.
for convention. And I think that was
Arctic
like just
camo
Comic-Con.
hiss is the way to go with. So, or at least you know what? Do the Arctic hiss, the white one, and give us this as like a decals we could throw on it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think
That was the
mother-
best of
not-
both worlds.
yeah, I would just screw the white thing. I would make it camo for sure. Look at this in the dirt. This thing
Yep.
looks sick.
Badass.
I think
Yeah,
this
see,
is
it's got the
AI, but
skin.
I don't care. This is awesome.
Well, yeah, because it's got like the ripsaw treads instead of conventional.
Yeah.
His
And it's got
Oh,
a
yeah.
cannon and missiles, so it's got,
got
the best.
cannon and missiles.
got both.
Damn,
I like
was gonna
that though.
say-
Give me both.
that is
Yeah,
insane.
exactly.
Yeah.
But another thing I was thinking is like, okay, in the HasLab
a
we got the
hybrid.
side mounted missiles, so we could repurpose those. It doesn't have to come with it, but a lot of us have those left over or not displaying our HasLab his with those on, so you could actually put those on that tank.
That is ready to kill. Oh my God.
And the top of this turret has the attachments. Like, come on, there's so many options for them
yeah.
to like
Oh, yeah.
do a separate little new piece to just make it awesome, but not cost an arm and a leg.
Look at that. We're blending two of our subjects, future proofing tooling with the HasLab section. Gotta love what we're doing here. Cobra Wolf was my pick, and then it was also everybody else's. So this is the coolest freaking.
That's a
Arctic
fun
vehicle.
vehicle.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It is fun. Paul, you know what? I stole your pick, so I'll let you talk about it.
No, man, it's fine. Like, yeah, that was my first pick, but Arctic Hiss is badass too. But yeah, this, I mean, if you're talking about what's next in Arctic, you have to have the Cobra Wolf. This is iconic. I mean, it's got their own little version of a ski pedo in a way.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
top. But
Mhm.
that two canopy system for the pilot and the gunner is badass. The missile rack
Yeah.
that flips up. I mean, this thing is just sick looking. That's mean. That's coming at you. You know it's Cobra.
Yeah, that Ice Viper is sick too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say the Ice Viper doubles as a ninja because he came with those size, which was
Oh, he
an
did.
odd
Yeah,
pick.
he came with ties.
It was an odd pick for an Arctic trooper.
The red balaclava. That's crazy.
He seems to be a fan favorite already anyway. So yeah, you can't
Oh
go
yeah,
wrong with that.
he does. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, being a
That'd be a
nice
fun
fight.
custom to make.
Oh yeah.
The GIJoe Collectors Club did a figure that sat in the back seat, and he was kind of like the communications officer. And it was an Ice Viper, but kind of with blue accents instead of the red.
Like the Ice Viper's goose.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Is Rio.
They also had another version of this where the missile rack was a different color scheme that also looks badass, kind of draws a little more attention to it. I think it was black instead of the same gray. That might have been like a mail away version or something, or just a re-release, but it's sick looking with a couple of extra details painted on.
Yeah, I think I remember that one, Polly. Was a 2-pack that came from the club, I believe. I remember the jungle one was Operation Moth. Forgot what the Arctic one was called, but yeah, I remember that one. That was the O-ring style.
Wolf. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason I went with this one, it's a GI Joe vehicle. It doesn't look like any normal real world vehicle, right? It's just
It's some
it's
Destro.
bizarro.
Yeah, Destro on some crazy shit with this one.
Yeah, it's some Mars industry shit for sure. And then
Right.
it includes a Viper Ninja, an Arctic Viper Ninja. You know, like an Ice Viper is basically an Arctic Ninja as well. So it's crazy. It's bananas. It stands out on the shelf. It's not just a tank. We know what a hiss looks like. We know, even like a Snow CAT is kind of a real world vehicle. We've seen them. So to have this is like, it's wacky shit, and that's what I like about it. Also, you can go deep in the weeds on Ice Vipers, Ice Ninjas. You got the Ice Viper Officer. I know you mentioned there was a telecommunication guy, right, Dave, an officer, or what were you saying about like a similar communications guy?
Yeah, I kind of would use him as a communication officer, kind of behind the Ice Viper. But yeah,
He got the sigh
so
ready.
now we have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, he's got the sigh on his thighs. That's cool.
yeah. And I was going to mention, going back real quickly to the vehicle, it meets Lenny's specifications, because he was talking about how like he likes to put the figures all on the vehicle, like on the art, and this vehicle allows you to put figures on the skis and then on the back of it as well, so you could carry, you know,
Right.
4 or 5 figures on it.
Perfect. That makes sense because there's a better sell through when you can put more figures on the vehicles. You get more use out of it. A lot of people
Right.
go, "Oh, I'll take up space." Well, it's going to have 5 figures on it, so it's going to actually take up less space than if it didn't. So that's a good call right there.
The Techno Viper holding on for dear fucking life.
I know.
You don't like it. You just not like getting cold. So we got Rise of Cobra, terrible movie, great figure line. We got some stuff there that looks like this Arctic Snake Eyes in a way.
Yeah.
Cool visor there. We got a snow job visor and it's repainted to look almost like Snake Eyes. And then it's got the white. I love how they just throw on like a white vest over like urban camo, just so wacky, but it's so GI Joe. And then you got like snowboards with it.
That's from the
Arctic
movie. That's
Assault.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, yeah, I don't know. Was this actually in the movie or just
Aren't those Vala's designs? Didn't he design that shit for the movie? No.
I mean, he was working on the line then, right? He
Okay.
was with Hasbro then. Yeah, I think he was. I don't know. But yeah, you got the officer there, kind of a little bit of a storm shadow. So yeah, that's kind of more or less
Not in the
why
movie.
I
Okay.
picked that because of the options. But look,
Yeah,
what do we think they're doing next? Because this is the future of GIJoe Classified. Snow Cat was back, but do you think the way it went, being nervous, it's at barely said 7,000 for forever, and then 2 days left, it's 16,000. Do you think that kind of sets a bad precedent for the future for HasLab though? Like being like to get funded so late. I'll go to you, Dave, on that. Like, what do you have any kind of mixed feelings? Like we're celebrating, we did it, but it took till the last day.
Yeah.
A game-winning shot in overtime. It wasn't like a 30-point blowout like the Rattler.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. It kind of shows like, okay, they have to be really careful with what they choose to be a HasLab, because remember, these are supposed to be dream projects that they're selecting. And a lot of people felt like the Snow Cat should have been just a regular retail release, or maybe a Pulse exclusive, but not a HasLab. And I really think like the next one that they go with for next year, it's got to be something big. You know, it's got to be something that we all want, that appeases the fandom, which is hard because we're so fickle and so, you know, we like different things and different parts of it. I'm in the camp of let's now go to a playset of some type. You know, do GIJoe HQ or do the Silent Castle or do Dreadnought Swamp Shack, or the Arashikage Temple, something like that, because it just pairs better with the figures when you're displaying them on your shelves.
Yes.
And we haven't gotten that yet. You know, you look at other
No,
lines
yeah.
like
We're all
Super
doing
7.
that.
Super
We're all
7
doing that.
did, you know, the Cat's Lair, that huge thing for 7-inch figures. You see what Masters of the Universe is doing with Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and all that stuff. So GIJoes do, and whatever they end up doing, I think that might be the next one. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Well, actually, we got a lot of people for the Morays. And then, you know, while you ask what we think, let's put this question up from Liquid Identity. Do you want an upsized or decked out Thunder Machine as a HasLab? Hasbro may get the wrong message from the Snow Cat. And you're saying no, Paul. I'm going to you.
No, man. Like, HasLabs, the Moccasin, I don't want to see as a HasLab. The Thunder Machine, I don't want to see as a HasLab. I don't care if they do the made to order model. I don't care if it's a pre-order thing that's a Pulse exclusive, but that ain't a HasLab. And I think if you start doing those kinds of things, you're going to run into the same problem that you did with the Snow Cat, where it's stalling, and then the big thing at the end. You got to, like Dave said, you got to go with something popular. I'm in a lot of these GIJoe streams, just in the chat, and the Moray seems to be the number one thing. And I'm of the mind, I want play sets too. Like you said, I think that's a great idea to start mixing it up and do some play sets for the world building. But like you guys discussed last night, Tony, if you have a big play set like the Well or even the Moray, a big vehicle, it sort of becomes a play set for display.
Just going to say that. Yep.
And also, I think before we do move on to world building of play sets, I want to see land, sea, air for each faction.
Same here.
Personally.
Yep. And maybe now that it's going to take 6 years to at least get the pre-order for a boat. Maybe they've worked out all those rumors, issues, whatever it is, like can't have electronics in the water for children, has to float, all these things we hear in the subreddit world, right? Hopefully they work it out, because Land, Sea, and Air is in the song. They might not use it anymore, but it's still part of G.I. Joe. And I've been saying Moray for 2 years. I'm not alone.
Yep.
There's hundreds of other people who have said that, but I think that's the way to go because of what Dave said. Because of what David said, you can make that a playset. I like the idea. We've talked, Tony, how many times have we talked about the Terradrome, getting shells of it and making that a
Just
whole
a
thing?
piece of it. Here's a piece. Here's another piece with a figure, with a tier or whatever. You know, hey, there you go.
And they,
Yeah.
Dude, that would sell. Come on, that would sell.
right. They're testing the waters with the Cobra Porta Potty, which is hitting now. I think we're all getting ours now. We all got emails today, right? That those are shipping. So I think that's testing the waters, and they sold out and they're going for crazy money on eBay. So I think that might be a test for a possible G.I. Joe HQ. I like the Dreadnought base idea too. Terradrome, like, hey, let's see how many people are going to buy these things and build their own. Because remember, all the diorama photography was there's 6 of them, right? Or 8 of them. They want people to see, and they're obviously sold out. So I think that's a test to maybe shift to that. Let's see. Yep, more people with the Moray Havoc 2027. Yeah, that was part of the any appreciation for the Rock Slide ATV? Anyone know this?
I don't know
stuff?
even what that is, Carlos. I don't know what that is.
I think that is an Arctic
Rise of Cobra
vehicle.
Oh,
Did it say Rock Slide? Rock Slide? Yeah, that's a Arctic one that came with Frostbite, I think.
really?
Yeah, it's basically like a polar battle bear, but with a giant cannon on the back.
Oh shit.
Oh, ATV, she said though. Is it?
ATV, yeah.
Let me see. I know I had some of these pulled up because I was looking up a bunch of stuff. Rock Slide.
Well, while you look that up, I'll go on to the next question. Here's a question from Professor Soundwaves. What's going on? I remember when they said that the Snow Cat and Thunder Machine were too small for HasLabs, never going to happen. Well, they did the Snow Cat. Think they'll do a HasLab? Oh, this is the same question we asked. So yeah, I think Paul nailed it. That needs to be made to order with Thrasher, and that's it. $170 or whatever, $150, $70. You keep it under 200, like the Arctic Hiss. And you know, they want to include figures with everything. So, you know, keep it under 200, no lights, none of that crap. It's too small for a HasLab. But they said that about the Snow Cat.
Right. Like I said, if they do that, if they make the dam, I don't want them to. Like Paul said, I don't want them to make the Thunder Machine that HasLab. It's too small. I mean, can they buff it out and make it huge? Yeah. Can they put, you know, lights with the cop lights and all the crazy shit on it? Then it'd have to be a HasLab, I guess. But we don't need that. We could put it out there like the Stinger and the Amp.
Yeah.
Just a little bigger, you know. Hey. And Thrasher, of course. You know. Throw in Zanya or Heart Wrencher, you know.
All right, we got
100%.
something to show. Is that working? Nope. Wait, I gotta remove this.
It's on the Ice Viper.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my
Rachel,
God.
is that the one you're talking about?
The cannon's bigger than the Battle Bear.
I know.
Talk about tipping over like a son of a bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the one you meant,
Jeez.
Rachel? Or is there another one that I'm not aware of?
I'll tell you
Rowdy said
guys.
wrong Rock Slide.
Shout out to my homeboy Rachel Carlos. He is a master at the obscure. He'll call out vehicles and figures that, like, you have to go and like search GIJoe to see, okay, what is this guy talking about? So he's a GIJoe encyclepedia. Shout out to my boy Carlos.
Yeah, look, wrong Rock Slide.
Wrong Rock
Yeah,
Slide.
2009 was the wrong, but that was cool to see. It's still Arctic, so it
I had Arctic on the brain, so that's where I went.
It's all good. If you find the other one, let us know. We'll pull it up. But we're gonna move on to, let's see what we got. Okay, what about the marketing of this? Like I said, in the last week of it, it did awesome. What would you have done better next time, Paul, for the marketing side? I want you to play devil's advocate. You're devil's advocate for the good. What about the bad now? The real devil. Like, show it. Like, what would you have done differently for the Snow Cat? I mean, it did get funded. It fully funded. So it is, and as someone mentioned in the chat, a W is a W. But it was a nail biter for 45 days. or at least 44 days. So what would you have done differently marketing this thing?
This is maybe a cheat answer to this question, because in the first place, I wouldn't even have chosen to do the Snow CAT. I think they chose the wrong vehicle.
It's as easy as that. It's simple as that.
They
I
even
think
had
Tony
to go
will
on
agree.
Instagram Live really late to like help it, you know, and talk about it. Lenny and Emily. I wasn't used to that. I'm like, did they always do this? Do they always do the Instagram Lives at the last minute?
They've done it before. I don't know if it's every.
Yeah, they've done them before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was for
there should have
Dragonfly or
been
Rattler, but they've done them.
there should have been weekly attempts to get the word out and to create buzz about it. You know, we saw how kind of GIJoe June got mishandled with some things getting canceled and the communication wasn't there. And I'm a big Joe fan and I love Emily, Lenny, Tony. I love the team. Like, I'm all about it. But yeah, the communication, I think, was a problem here too. It was like, here it is, go fund it. And then you don't hear anything until the week before it ends. So we need more consistent communication, which I think is a through line of, you know, issues with Hasbro and the Joe brand.
They didn't even mention this, did they? It's the celebrating 40 years of the Snow CAT.
They didn't mention it, no.
Hell yeah.
Very,
Who knew that?
Yeah, I think I would have announced it during GIJoe June instead of just giving us that preview, and then actually shown the model at San Diego Comic-Con. If, you know, since we're going with the Snow CAT as a HasLab. But yeah, I really felt like the social media marketing was kind of lacking. They should have done a lot more of the live streaming and just answering questions. And you know, I often wonder, why don't they show it with like some of the other products that they've released? You know, show it with a snow job, and show like Arctic scenes with snow serpents and stuff like that. It just seemed like it was very isolated with just its own kind of ecosystem.
This is the answer. This is what I was just about to think. You know what comment I'm about to put up, right? This one.
Darren?
Got to remember that a lot of employees have been laid off for the last few years, and employees are taking on multiple roles. Like Paul mentioned, we had, was it Evan from Transformers was there to do like to help them out. And he's Transformers. It's not the crossover like Ben doing both makes sense because Ben has been a marketing guy for both teams. This guy came out of left field helping them out, right? He's Transformers. He just happened to be in the office, you know, did the camera and all this stuff. So a lot of people are doing more for less. That's corporate America now, right? Someone gets fired, you have to take on another role, or otherwise, you know. So that's why let's try not to give Lenny and Tony a hard time, because they are the designers, they are the creators of this. I know I ask several questions sometimes too, but I try to stay away from business stuff because that isn't their job. But yet Lenny's doing these videos and he's a designer. Like he shouldn't have to. He's just there to make the toys, but he loves the community so much. He's passionate about it, and he wanted to get out there and do what he can. You know, and we can't pin it on him. He's the one and him and Tony and others, they're making the toys. They're not the ones in charge of marketing, right? They're not the ones in charge of social media, communication. That's not on them.
Not the suits. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even on the marketing team. Sometimes they're being pulled to do other things, other HasLab for Star Wars, Transformer stuff. So it gets tough there. All right, we got one more thing we'll show.
Trav, I want to double down on that real quick to say, you got to give them props also for their enthusiasm and excitement that they bring. One of the things I look forward to at SDCC every year is talking to Emily, Tony, Lenny in person, and they're hearing their enthusiasm, sharing the love for Joe. We're lucky to have those guys on our favorite IP. You know, like it's amazing. So yeah. Credit where credit's due. Yeah, there's the one Rachel meant, and that was right out of the movie. Snake Eyes used that to take down one of the Night Ravens.
They kind of lay down in it, facing forward, kind of like a Tron cycle. Yeah, cool.
Right.
I think it's pretty rad.
Yeah,
this thing is pretty sick.
Yes, and everything Travis said. You know, we are lucky that we have a great team. They have good synergy when they are on the live streams and when they're presenting. I really like their enthusiasm and their fans as well. So, you know, we're very fortunate. You know, I think back, you know, many years back, they had a convention called HasCon in Rhode Island, and you literally could walk around and be talking directly, just like you do in San Diego Comic-Con, with people like Lenny and Emily and the team. I thought that was really cool, and plus you got hands on with the toys that are part of their line. So
For sure. Just a couple more comments before we head out of here. Past Frogie says, I don't think I could do their jobs all in negative online comments.
oh
I'd
man,
be
yeah.
flipping us off. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, the stuff sometimes they have to see, and they've got some tough skin, so I give them credit for that. You find it strange, Dragonfly released in 83, Rattler 84. They had their own 40th anniversary already. Supposedly next year is 86 vehicle. So is the Moray an 86 vehicle? What year is that? Cobra Moray. Does anybody know?
Off the
I'm
top of
gonna
my
find
head,
out for you right now.
Someone in the chat.
Carlos.
I don't know,
will
man.
comment
I'm
in the chat.
fitting.
It is not, according to YoJoe.com.
85, right?
87. Well,
Oh, 87. Oh, wow. Okay.
Moray's 85. 85, 87. Someone get the Google.
Hydrofoil, baby.
What year? 85. Okay. Two for 85.
King.
So we already, that ship has sailed. Get it? It's done. Not going to happen. No Moray. No Moray confirmed, because it's not an anniversary anymore. It's going to be past 1985 for the 40 years. Havoc is 86 and could be 87 for the movie. We'll see. I don't know. Hope it's a Moray. The playset thing is great too. Look, we're done the show. I got to give shouts to everybody. Woody 222, David Allen, Charlock Prime, JD Onesie. You can check JD with Tony Sunday at General Geekery. But before we go, shout outs. David, you've been on the show a few times, and we got to have you on again, man. You crushed it, dude. Thanks again for
appreciate it.
on. Tell the folks where they can find you.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm always in the comments. You guys can follow me on Instagram at STXTC, South Texas Toy Collector. And then I have a private group called Never Had This as a Kid, but Now I Do. So look for that. You can jump in. Very positive vibe. It's mostly me posting in this. So if you want to see some of my collection, you can see it in there. But follow me there.
You're one of the greatest collectors in GI Joe for sure. Absolutely good ass dude. Loved talking to you, and thanks again for being on the show. And Paul, you're new to YouTube, but you're already an all-star right away. You're making the team. Great review. What are we gonna get next for you over at HellaGeek on IG and HellaGeek on YouTube?
Yeah, it's HellaGeek Insta on IG, and then just at HellaGeek here on YouTube. So I'm working on a couple videos right now. I did a mod on the Cobra Claw and Pilot, something minor, but just something that was fun for me. I have some custom stuff coming up. I got a video on a mod I did for the Cobra Coil. If we're going to take a trip back to 2020. So but it's fun stuff. Like I love this brand. I buy multiples of everything Cobra, and I have that sickness, that multiple purchase syndrome, because I do buy one to keep in the box. But also some exciting news. Something happened today that I've been waiting for a long time. Is my balls finally dropped? Yeah, both of them on the same day.
Nice.
He got some balls. I'm happy for Paul.
Mine is sitting in the
balls
over there.
Balls dropped.
The balls dropped.
Who was earlier? Who was on the show that said it was JD in the first segment. JD Onesie said that, or he might have did that in the pre-show, but he was talking about his own crystal balls that he has, and he says I was the only fan of this character back in 91 or 92, whatever it was, and he's like, now I love this version. So yeah, crystal ball is definitely. I'll just put you on the spot. Crystal ball figure of the year. You haven't opened it yet, but what do you think?
Ooh.
Oh no.
God. I'm not thinking so. I think there's some strong contenders out there. Plus, I mean, we got 4 months left, so let's see what's coming down the pipeline.
Oh, you roll, huh?
But no, I don't think I can put him up there yet.
No, we got some.
You know what though? I will say she could be. I got her like that decal, by the way. You see?
Ooh.
So,
nice work.
Yeah, that decal that came with the Rattlers. You got that sticker sheet.
That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that pose yet.
All I would do
Awesome.
different to that sexy Baroness, all I would do different is put a Cobra insignia right there in her chest.
Yep. I'll
They-
put this
they
one
could've-
up. I'm waiting on this guy to come out to be announced.
Woo, nice.
Yeah, look at that.
This was inspired by Tony's Figs.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Tony.
Thank you.
Gridiron kit.
Awesome job.
Yeah.
Woo, Night Viper
Yeah.
time.
And Crystal
Announced
Ball
him,
was
right?
making
They announced him.
80 was like back in 92 when I got the figure, so you got me all screwed up there. I got a shout out. You spoke of the claw. I got a shout out the Nerd Arsenal.
I got to get that.
Oh,
That is dope.
Nice. That is
Yeah,
nice.
this thing is sick. I know a lot of the comments were, "Oh, it's expensive." It is because it's third party. Third party stuff is not
Right.
cheap. We know that from Gridiron, other companies. Like it's one person or a team of people making a toy. It isn't a $1 billion corporation mass producing a toy. So yes, the blast stand costs more than the claw. It's ridiculous, but that's independent toys. It's additions. It's a bonus. It's like you don't need. This is not at Walmart, right? So you don't need it. But if you want it, you can. Shout out to Lance.
Very
This was his birthday gift. So
Yeah.
appreciate that. From
Did he get you the
those-
jump jet? Did he get you the jump jet one too, or no?
Yeah, I got it right.
Oh, let me
Yeah.
see that bad boy. Yeah, that is sick.
Sweet.
Shout out to the Nerd Arsenal for sure. Go find them on Etsy. That's the easiest place to find it, but they're
Yeah.
also on eBay as well.
Starduster burning his ass off.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, he had some hot wings. Some hot
Got
wings.
some
There you
thermal
go.
Nomax pants.
Cool. Well, hey, this was a hell of a show. Thank you again to everybody, JD, Dave, Charlock, Paul, Woody, and David Warren Hernandez, Tony's Figs. Thanks for hanging out tonight on Friday, and we'll catch you guys next time in the toy aisle. I don't even want to say Wednesday because every week is who the hell knows. We'll be
Thanks for
back
having me.
again. We'll be back again. Peace.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, guys.